Kings of Leon, California waiting. Steve, the public have been waiting for us to return.
Well, that's true enough.
Alright?
Yeah.
They had the best of
last
last
week.
week.
Was a joy.
They had Camfield and us without Karl the week before. But it's been a while since we've all been together. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me is Steve Merchant, and over there, with his little sunburnedy, baldy head, little Karl Pilkington.
Yeah. That wasn't Steve slapping me head then, by the way.
No, that was just him clapping at, like, Steve Wright in the afternoon.
It's a great show.
Because it is a good show.
Yeah.
He's so pleased that we're a posse.
Yeah.
And we're all back together. 3 holidays Karl's had this year. Last year.
Yeah.
I'd love to have 3 holidays. You've got to start putting the work in there.
I had 2 holidays then.
No, you had 3 holidays. You went away with Suzanne and her parents.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count.
It does count. If you book 2 weeks off the firm, you go away and you go, how was your holiday? Go, well, I didn't really count. It wasn't a really good holiday. Can I have them days back, please? My New Year's resolution is to be nicer to you, but
well
talk
done, you've already
sense.
broken that.
No, but talk sense. Talk sense. You've had 3 holidays this year, and I'm just saying, you're in your 30s now, and 30s is when you should be really putting the work in.
That's true enough.
To reap the benefits in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100.
Karl, what's your New Year resolution? What about think before you speak? It's worth. I mean,
see, I'm allowed to laugh. I'm allowed to laugh at things other people say, Karl. That one, that is a good suggestion. How was your holiday, Karl?
It was alright.
Right, brilliant.
But that I don't see on the ratio of good to bad in Karl's mind. That might be amazing because we never
might be
hear him
amazing,
sing the
mightn't
praises of anything.
I'll tell you what. Can we have a cracking little tune and then come back and hear about Karl's holiday?
I'd love to do that.
Let's keep it tight.
Yeah.
Love to Tear Us Apart by Joy Division. Now, I can't put my finger on it, but that doesn't sound like the original. And it's off a compilation. It sounded a bit fast. I think the vocal was slightly different. If anyone can, put me out of misery, I think it might be in a session of the time or something.
Karl, here's a little New Year resolution for you, another one. Maybe when we ask you to get a song, get the original single version.
I could be
and
wrong,
not some
but
obscure session.
Yeah, it does seem different, doesn't it?
Very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we just remember it wrongly. But anyway, that's XFM for you. 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant. Karl Pilkington. Karl, you went to Lanzarote. People said don't go to Lanzarote. They told you it was Lanzarote. They told you, were they right or wrong?
They were right, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bit ropey, yeah.
Is it? Why?
Just, out there. If it wasn't for the volcano they had, they'd been knackered.
That's their big draw, is it?
That's it, basically. That's all they've got going for them.
When you landed, was it really hot? Initially, were you quite excited? You were thinking this is okay?
It was warm. It's, we can't complain about the weather. The weather was alright.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That's what I went for, but it'd be nice if there just was something else.
Yeah.
What did you do all day then? Did you read your ritual book?
No, I didn't read that. I read that book. Do you know the book that I bought and all the chapters were messed up?
Oh, yeah.
I bought a better version of that.
Alright.
And I read that.
Excellent.
And then,
Did it make more sense in order?
yeah, a lot easier to follow.
Yeah.
And then we went and had a look at the volcanoes and that. They've got 36 of them to look at.
How many did you look at before you realised that pretty much, you've seen one volcano, you've seen them all?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
And then when you got to the 8th, you thought, now I know what this is going to be, Suzanne. This is going to be like a mountain with a hole in the top.
Yeah.
Really?
But it happened years ago as well. It's like, just keep a couple, fill the rest in, tidy it up.
Fill the rest in!
Yeah, no,
Well, getting some builders.
No, seriously though.
Okay, 4 million tons of concrete, please.
They're an absolute death trap.
Yeah, what? Yeah. What do you mean, fill them in? Do you know what a volcano is?
Just a hole, isn't it? That's happened.
Well, it's more than the
happened back
hole. It's
in-
more a portal to the magma in the centre of the earth.
Back in 1730 it happened, and they still haven't sorted it out.
Well, when you say it happened, volcanoes were made a lot longer ago than 1730.
No, but the one that did Lanzarote in.
Right.
Sort it out.
What would you suggest? How
tidy
can they
up.
fill it in? It's joined. It's all joined.
No, but what I'm saying is,
the big plates of the earth are all joined.
it
All
was
the
a disaster,
magma's
wasn't it?
joined.
With the trade centre thing, that happened. They cleaned it up, sorted it out, they've moved on. That's what I'm saying. Whereas Lanzarote have just gone, leave it. It happened back in 1730.
You misunderstand me. How, in the name of God, can you fill in a volcano? You ignorant twit.
No, but it's not just the holes. They've actually left the lava everywhere. That's what I mean. It's not just the big holes. There's lava everywhere.
But it's molten rock. They can't just pick it up like they're like a carpet.
Put it in the holes. The holes are there ready. Just push it all in. That's what I'm saying.
So, what exactly is there then? Is it just a kind of moon-like kind of surround with just kind of dust and rocks?
That's exactly what you see. I was there when the Mars thing went wrong.
Yeah.
I would have just sent a camera crew there, filmed a bit of that, right, and say, here we are. This is it. Ignore the little coffee shop in the background. Right, this is Mars, because that's where it's like just loads of dust.
Yeah.
Holes everywhere. Tidy it up.
Little round-headed aliens complaining.
Whinging.
Just like Mars.
Yeah.
So, is there what's the best bit about the holiday? Come on, pretend you're Judith Chalmers.
I have been doing. I would have done all that. I would have said that. Don't bother.
Right.
I mean, the hotel was good.
Yeah?
That was alright.
What was that like?
It's alright. Just, clean. That's all you want, isn't it?
See, that's not quite what Judith Chalmers does. She doesn't go, what's the hotel like? Alright, yeah, clean, innit? Alright. But what was it like? What was it? 3-star? 4-star? Did it have a swimming pool? What was the room
I
like?
had a swimming pool and that.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's good. I think it was one of the better ones on the island.
Okay.
Nightlife? Clubs?
Wasn't really. And there was a bar. There was some bands playing.
Yeah.
Not very good. Food got a bit boring.
Yeah.
It was always the same food every night, but they sort of themed it and made out as if it was different. So, like, on Mexican night, it'd be chicken with a nacho on it.
Right.
And Chinese night, sort of chicken with a little prawn cracker on it and stuff.
Sure.
But that got a bit boring.
That's me just turning on my phone, because I want to read to you a text that I got from Karl. I think you sort of sum up the holiday in this text, don't you? Do you remember
I
it?
can't remember.
Let's have a look. Let's have a little look.
Instantly, what did Suzanne, your girlfriend, make of it? Similar view to you, that they should fill in the holes?
Yeah, it's just that thing, you see, I went on a coach trip, right? And you go and see the volcanoes. Like I say, there's 36 of them.
Yeah.
Which, how many do you need? And when we're on the coach going round all these volcanoes, the fella on the front's going and look out your left window at the moment, and there's a volcano. And if you quickly look out at the right-hand side there, there's another one.
Right.
And on the left, it's just like, all right, we've seen it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that trip, I mean, we'll talk about that trip in a bit.
Right, this is the text I got from Karl, right? Alright. Been up to a volcano. Been in some dead artist's house who built his house in the lava. They said they would show me science with volcanoes, but all they did was chuck some water in a hole and it shot up in the air. No dwarves in the canteen, no scousers here, but there is a Swede woman with a big head. She looks effing gormless with a cap on. Alright? So a little reference there to...
A Swede woman?
What's that mean? Do you mean Swedish?
Yeah.
Or she looked like a vegetable?
A Swedish woman. But they've all got sort of quite big built, aren't they?
And I sent him a text. Oh well, it's just good to be on holiday because I'm working. He sent back. So am I. Just been watching Sky News. There is a school for monkeys who want to get a band together.
Is that monkey news for later?
Oh My Corazon by Tim Burgess. I can't get enough of that. I love that chorus. On XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant and little Karl Pilkington. But it was a nice holiday.
Yeah, it's alright. It's just, I went there to relax and that.
Exactly.
Did a little bit of that. Trying to think of some new, features and stuff.
Sure, always working. 3 holidays a year, Jesus.
Oh, well, not really 3, not 2.
It's all
holidays, really.
one big sort of like work thing to me and Steve.
2 holidays, isn't it? Work hard, you need the holidays. So, yeah, the things that annoyed me was like, you get bored, sat around the pool after a couple of days. I'd read my book.
Yeah.
you know, there wasn't much going on the.
Not even any
complex.
crabs to throw sand at, was
No
there?
crabs or anything. They wouldn't bother with Lanzarote, right? So decided to go on a little trip. That's when I saw the volcanoes and that, 36 of them. So we go on the trip, and the thing that annoys me, it does happen every holiday that you go on. If you go on a sort of a package thing, they have these trips, right? And you pay about 40 odd quid, and they give you some wine to sort of make it feel like you're getting your money's worth. But
how many of these trips have you been on then? Loads.
Probably about 12.
Phew, more holidays than I've had. Go on. Yeah,
So
go
anyway,
on.
so you're on the coach, right? And they take you for the volcanoes. They took us in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right. There's nothing else round there.
Sure.
It's like I say, it's like Mars, but with holes in the ground.
Yeah.
Right. And they sort of drop you off, and they go, right, everybody, see you back here in an hour. There's loads of volcanoes for you to look at, and a coffee shop over there. And you know for a fact, right, you don't need an hour there. You could just say, well, just keep the engine running, because I'll have a look in this hole, we'll get back on, give us 5 minutes. Right? Don't need an hour.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know that they've got something going
It's a
with the-
backhander, definitely.
What, with the coffee shop?
Definitely. Yeah, they go there and they get everyone to have an ice cream and a coffee, and they sit down and have a fag talking to the bloke. Yeah, and it's like cousin. Yeah,
Have you
How
ever-
much was the coffee? Was it
Probably
overpriced?
about €3 each euro, so I think it was £3.50,
Sure. Yeah.
which is, I don't know, what, that's about £2.5, isn't it?
Yeah, they
something?
stitched you up. Well, I remember we were on it was a family trip to France once. We went to Paris. We got a coach coming back from Paris to one of the ferries, one of the ports, Calais or wherever it was. Coach trip. It was quite a long coach trip. And at one point we were thinking, we're on the motorway, this is fine, we're making good progress. Suddenly we came off the motorway. We must have gone like 40 minutes out of our way, end up in this street, completely empty, little French town. And it's pulled up outside this, what appears to be a restaurant, and a guy jumps on, dressed like a Butlins red coat. He's French, but he's putting on a kind of English accent. He goes, hello, oh, thank you very much, top of the morning, good morning, hello. Come in, we've got food, drink, go upstairs, we've got rooms if you want to have a rest, or play around. No, it's up to you. And we all had to funnel off this thing into this restaurant, and this one family went, well, we don't want to go in the restaurant. We brought sandwiches, we just want to get to the port, we're not interested. And they said, well, you've got to come in the restaurant. They went, we don't want to come in the restaurant. So the guy said, well, I'll have to lock you in the coach. So this family were locked in the coach while we all traipsed off in, and I could just look, but I looked back and just saw this little kid with his face pressed up against the glass. Take me with you. I want to go in the restaurant. They were just stuck in there. Absolutely livid, as you would be.
but
And,
that's definitely a backhander.
but we went inside, and it was extraordinary, because initially you had to pass through a souvenir shop to get into the restaurant.
Perfect.
And it was catered entirely to English tourists. So there was like pictures of the Queen and Prince Charles on the wall. It was done out in a kind of mock Tudor style. It's absolutely extraordinary. I mean, it was so bizarre, because it was so out of the way. Did that come before the coach sort of scam, or did the coach guy, he knows it, is it a brother of his? I don't know how those things come about. But
Yeah, is
that going on in this country?
Yeah,
with
I'm
French
sure
and
it
German
is.
tourists?
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Is it?
Yeah, they say, I'm sure people say, look, if you bring 30 people to this restaurant, I'll see you all right. But it wouldn't it? If, you got your favourites. Because you don't have to, though. The coach driver's pretty much God on those things, because those people don't know where they're going anyway.
Yeah, but at least here, there's other stuff around. You don't really get that in the middle of nowhere situation in this
Well,
country.
not really. Not if you're going from London to Manchester. You could stop off anywhere. They don't know where they are. There's places with nothing to do or see. It's that those attractions. There's loads of them in America, but there's a few here, like Sheep World, and you go out to Gloucester and there's a town. It's got the biggest cotton reel in the world, and that's it. It's a tourist shop, a big cotton reel, and some bloke at the gate going, "It's a quid to see it." There it is. All right.
I went to I know it's quite a big. I went to a Shire Horse Centre once.
Yeah.
But when did Shire horses become so popular that they got their own theme parks?
Well, I think there's a museum for everything.
Yeah, possibly so.
I mean, I don't think you could think of something that didn't have a museum somewhere in Britain, because obviously museums start off sometimes by fans.
But did people keep coming around going, I hear you've got a Shire horse, I'd love to see it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't. People coming all the time to see my Shire
You should get another one, because I'd pay double for
I
those
pay
two.
good money to see your Shire horse.
Yeah.
Shire horses!
I know.
Have you seen them? They don't do anything, they're not like monkeys.
They're not like monkeys, no. know.
creatures, but you look at them in a picture or look at them in real life, pretty much the same thing. They're not doing anything.
If they could train a Shire horse to swing on a rope and masturbate,
Exactly.
I'd pay double.
You pay good money.
I'd pay double for that.
Yeah.
There's a museum in Italy when we went there a couple of years back. Suzanne had like one of those little guide things. Museum there just for spaghetti.
Yeah.
I mean, open a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it interesting spaghetti? Spaghetti in different shapes?
Don't know, didn't go. I went to see a big hole in the ground.
Sure.
Can't get enough of them. So, do that then.
Well, but out of 10 then, what would you give it out of 10? All in all, food, location,
Right.
relaxation, enjoyment.
Yeah, that's 6.
Okay, brilliant.
6, yeah.
Next week, where are you going next week? You're not on holiday next week?
Going
Cool.
away with Suzanne's mum and dad again.
5 holidays.
Wrote
Play a
some for
record.
that.
You've got to put some work in. You're in your 30s now. You've got to knuckle down. Cheering breaks. Mind over money. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. Stephen Merchant. Little Karl Pilkington.
Yeah. A couple of emails. Different people have visited various tourist attractions.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see who's this from. Not quite sure. But thanks very much indeed for it. There's a link here. It's apparently in Devon. Barometer World.
Brilliant.
It's the world of barometers. It was established in 1979. And,
By one bloke who had a lot and thought, I can charge
Exactly,
a quid
yeah.
for this, definitely.
Here's the,
Out of his own house, probably. Converted back scuttle.
exactly.
Yeah, that's not a euphemism for a sexual act.
But look at the webpage here, Rick. There's a picture of a beautiful barometer being held by a beautiful lady.
Lovely. Who's definitely his daughter.
Yes.
Definitely. Come on, Kathy. Hold that. Dad, no. Come on. Undo your top a little bit. Dad? Definitely made to do that.
Yeah.
Oh.
That slight look of I hope no one I know sees.
Yeah.
Just check out Barometer World.
Barometer World.
Yeah, that's available. If you want to check that out, www.barometerworld.com. That's
Now,
all the,
barometers. Now, do they work?
they have to do
Two.
with checking, is it the air pressure?
Well, everything. But
Air.
I think that's what it's based on, isn't it? Sort of low and high pressure, so it's going to rain, it's not going to rain.
Yeah.
Or going to be windy, but I wonder how accurate they are.
I think in the days before satellites, sort of weather surveillance systems, probably essential.
Yeah.
Nowadays-
As essential as hanging some seaweed out by the back door?
Probably.
I think it's probably similar. I think it's the same one as holding a needle and thread over a pregnant woman. If it goes clockwise, it'd be a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about a barometer is how far into the future can it predict?
Exactly.
'Cause
How
if
do you
it's-
know?
If it's a case of you may as well stick your head out the window to see if it's raining.
Exactly. This barometer goes, oh, it'll be windy and rainy. When? The barometer goes, soonish.
Yeah.
So, can't say, but it will, well, within the 7 days.
I don't want
of
to be
the-
specific because you'll have me.
Yeah,
You know, you'll-
yeah. I don't want to. But I mean, I'm just a barometer. I'm not really
I
a
can't
weather
really
person.
analyse the information.
Yeah, brilliant.
What's in there? What's happening in there? What chemicals are being affected? How does it work?
I
have no
don't
idea.
know. I assume it's probably something.
Wait a minute, let me
that's-
email Barometer World.
What
Now
could
I'm
it
beginning
be?
to find it.
It
They are
could
quite
be.
interesting.
It could be mercury that's based on a sort of temperature. It goes up with. Oh no, it's not temperature, is it, barometer? It's pressure. So it's probably just very fine. It's like a fine, very, very fine needle, isn't it?
This is almost as embarrassing as last time we were on. We couldn't figure out what the name of the leader of China was. Was it the King of China? The Prince of China?
Oh, this is where we were trying to imagine what it'd be like if all the Chinese people at once jumped up and down
Yeah.
and made a big
An
tidal
enormous
wave.
tidal wave. But if you do know what the name of the leader of China is, we don't mean the name of the particular person in charge, but if it's a king of China, the emperor of China, the chancellor of China,
But it
the
used
prime
to be an
minister of
emperor,
China.
didn't it? No, that was Japan.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know what's the big guy in charge. Is he still the chairman? I know Chairman Mao was important. I think he was just the
Yeah.
chairman. I think he just governed all the big meetings.
Yeah, I don't know.
He just kept the minutes.
Head Chinaman?
Hey, Chinaman, the major Chinaman, the top Chinaman. Number one Chinaman.
Do you know what? We're going to be honest here. We know so little about China.
It's true.
We know so little about China.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
If you've got any interesting facts about China, then email him, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Also, I imagine the email address to use if you're going to take part in this week's Rockbusters.
I did read an interesting fact. I'm researching. I'm doing a show called Politics, and I was researching. And there's a thing about
You went online?
sweatshops. Yeah, no. Sweatshops. Like Nike. There's these facts, right? And that these people get like a few cents an hour, and the CEO, I forget his name, for a Chinese woman to earn his 5.2 billion, she'd have to work 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for 10,000 years. But Steve, they don't.
They don't.
They don't. They obviously don't want to.
Exactly.
They don't want to. They don't want to.
Lazy, Rick.
Ian Jury and the Blockheads, hit me with your rhythm stick.
Rick, are you likely to be going to Cumbria on your stand-up tour?
Almost certainly not. Why?
Well, it's just because you might want to visit the Cumberland Pencil Museum. That's the journey through the history of pencil making.
I do like pencils.
Really?
Yeah, just use one then.
That's what you mean.
So,
do you have any idea how that was made?
No, what's it?
Let me email them.
Now, Chinese people.
Oh, incidentally, it's the premiere of China. The premiere.
Premiere. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
But, when you were away, Karl, we worked out if it's 1 in 10 people are sort of like gay in some way, with 1 billion Chinese people, there's 100,000 little gay, lesbian Chinese fellas of some sort. What do you think of that?
What do you mean?
Well, I think so it's some sort of form of gayosity, whatever it's called, is sort of like 1 in 10, right?
1 in 10 people are gay, apparently.
Right.
That does seem a bit high, though, doesn't it?
I thought it was lower than that.
What? You mean more than that?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's of any sort of nature, anything.
But what time did they do the survey on the streets as well? Because, they go out late, so if they're doing the survey sort of around lunchtime, forget it, they're not going to get any.
Sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? They're all asleep.
But if they're out at, say, 1 in the morning...
Well,
It's going to be higher, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Carl's favourite song, The Killing of Georgie? A little gay fella goes out and he gets beaten up and that. Karl went, yeah, but would it have happened if he'd have been going out at a decent time?
True.
But clearly in the lyric, it says, Georgie left the theatre before the final curtain fell.
Yeah.
Now, theatre's finished about 10:30.
Yeah.
So even to giving him half hour, I reckon it was only about 11 o'clock. So you're talking rubbish there.
are you sure that wasn't his curtains in his flat? And he's closing them before he goes out?
No, he was at the theatre. But I'll tell you what, I just realised something. Maybe where most people were going home after theatre, he was just going out.
Exactly.
That theatre to him is like a matinee.
Exactly.
Isn't it? He's off out clubbing, isn't he? He's off down, he's going to get some ammo, he's going to get a couple of butt plugs, and he's not even going to start dancing till midnight, is he?
Have any of us ever met any gay people? It's just, I mean, our view of them is, I don't know. Email in if you've met a gay person.
Yeah.
Tell us where we're going wrong.
Yeah, have any of us ever met a gay person?
I mean, the way we talk about these, it's like, have we ever met Chinese people? I've seen them. I've seen them out there wandering the streets, but I don't think I've ever had a conversation.
Now here's the irony. I definitely know and have met more little gay fellas than little Chinese fellas.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any little Chinese friends?
There was a girl at school who was Chinese, but she was kind of inscrutable. I couldn't get close to her. She was sort of mysterious.
Right.
Rockbusters?
Yeah, brilliant.
Right, then, this is where I give you a little cryptic clue. And some initials, and it sort of makes up a band or an artist and stuff like that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Sort of being the operative phrase there.
Yeah. Let's see how we read this clue.
Yeah.
This is going to sound like Oscar Wilde.
Clue number 1.
3 different clues. Clue
Oscar
number
Wilde
1.
was Chinese, apparently.
Was it?
Yeah, it was illegal then.
Right. Will you leave the entrance to my garden alone?
Sorry?
Right? Will you leave the entrance to my garden alone?
Are we back on the gay thing, or is this... This is the clue?
That's the clue.
Right.
Clue for Rockbusters number 1. Will you just leave the entrance to my garden alone, will you?
Right, that doesn't count because I know what it is.
And what were the initials?
What are the initials?
GG.
Correct.
Yeah, right, but you've got to pronounce the artist correctly. I'll pronounce the artist. Because I know what it is.
Don't ruin it.
No, but when the answer comes, I'll pronounce the artist.
Right, can we just focus, please, on the quiz? Go. What was the clue again? Give it again.
Will you leave the entrance to my garden alone? Not messing with it, right? GG.
Okay.
Right?
Next.
Doesn't count.
Next.
Incorrect.
Don't phone, but you can send a message on my mobile if you want, right? That's T. It's another little easy one. And the last one, we were sharing out the mail sheet.
Right, that doesn't count either.
Can we just fuck?
I know what that is. I know what that is.
I don't care. We'll come to that later.
Yeah.
And number 3, we were sharing out the male sheep, and I think I got the best one. Right? DG.
DG.
Yeah. So quickly again, will you leave the entrance to my garden alone? Stop messing about with it.
Yeah.
Right? GG.
Yeah.
Don't phone, but you can send us a message on my mobile if you want. Right? That was T. And the last one was sharing out the male sheep, and I got the best one, so that's good. Right? DG.
All right. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Have we got any prizes?
Do you want to have a look?
Well, don't worry about it.
Don't
worry about it. Have we got any prizes?
Just look, the clues are rubbish. The clues don't work. The show. This is pathetic. Play a record.
That's what it should be called. And the clues don't work.
Blur. Out of time on XFM. Well, we're not out of time. We've still got an hour left, boys.
Hey!
Luckily.
Brilliant. A lot of emails, obviously, about the Chinese. People as fascinated as we are. I don't want to discuss it, interminably, Rick, because there's so much to say, and we've said most of it in the past.
Yeah.
Get a couple of emails. In fact, I think, Karl, you told us this information. Remind me of it again. If all the Chinese people in the world were...
We're in a line on that, because there's loads of them, you'd never get to the end of it.
Right.
No, it's not that.
It's
no. If all the Chinese people formed a line and started walking out of China, you'd never get to the end of it.
That's what I just said.
No, it's because though, they'd be having babies. You know what I mean? Still, it'd be adding to it all the time, wouldn't you?
But would they be walking and shagging and having babies as they're walking out?
Yeah, that is.
I'd love to see someone organise that. Maybe the Record Breakers team.
I tell you what, I'd love to see Ross McWhirter or Norris, who is it? Who's the one that's alive?
I forget Norris, I think.
Norris, right? I'd love to see him to coordinate that.
Yeah.
1.2 billion little Chinese fellas, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl.
Yeah. And where are they walking out of China? Which exit are they taking?
They're taking the
through Tibet. Or?
I think it's the Gate 9 Slip Road, the M43,
right.
to St Petersburg,
right?
And they go, and walking, and shagging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because some presumably are dying as they're leaving.
No, but they live to 120.
That's true.
So
they claim.
So, well, we know Carl's theory on that. Do you want to just tell new listeners your theory about when all these Chinese people get the records for oldest people in the world? Come on, what's your theory, Carl? Carl,
just that they're probably lying.
Why?
That's all. Because a lot of them don't age that well. Some of them do. A lot of them don't, and they always look older than they are. I read the other day, right? Do you know the one who was the oldest woman in the world, right? Chinese woman, right? The way she did it, it was.
She didn't die. That was her secret. Yeah. What she did, she got up every day and didn't die.
No, she was like awake and that, and then she'd have 2 days just sleeping.
Right.
So she wasn't really that old.
What do you mean?
Well, she'd only sort of lived half of her life in a way.
Well, we all live 2/3 of our life, don't we?
No, but she was like awake and that, and then she'd go, go out of bed, and then that'd be it for 2 days.
Talking of sleeping, oh man alive, I went to see the last part of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Why?
Well, it's like a family thing now. Every Christmas, my family and I have been going to see the Lord of the Rings, the next instalment. It's like a family thing.
What will you do if they keep making them?
Oh, I tell you, I've wasted now about 10 hours of my life with that tripe.
You can never get that back.
I can never get that back. That's what Peter Jackson owes me. 10 hours now he owes me of my life. It is absolute drivel.
Well, I know.
We've said this before, I don't want to harp on again about it, but I cannot fathom why everyone is so excited and loves these films so much. Like you say, people review saying it's the best film ever. I think this is the greatest movie I'll ever see. And I don't... It's like they go, but look at all the fight sequences.
But Tolkien being up there in literature, like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like Shakespeare. Tolkien. No! No.
But what is it that he's writing about exactly?
I don't know.
Little midget fellas who can't get shoes. wondering. I mean, I've got big feet. I've got size 14. I can get shoes.
Oh God!
So not from mail order.
I know it is like Harry Potter taken seriously.
Yeah.
But I know who's watching it. It's like these people who are watching it are obviously nerds, people who live in Forbidden Planet. They love it. They can't believe their luck.
But that's the core audience, but it's obviously bigger than that.
But then it's also people who can think they have a go, like menopausal women thinking, well, I'll write a book then. Globplin came into the cave.
Exactly.
Right? And they're sort of like 13-year-old sons who've never shown an interest in anything except glue, now writes Orc
Yeah, exactly.
on his exercise book, and so they're loving it. It's like,
it's
God.
sort of uniting, bringing people together. But at the end, right, I mean, it's taken them now, like, 9 hours to get from one part of Middle-earth to the end, to the other end, so they can destroy the ring, the evil ring.
Did they do a line? Was it?
I don't know what they...
Like these little Chinese fellas.
And, it's taken them 9 hours of their time and my life as well to get there. And, at the end, they all say
They
goodbye.
do it in real time. Why didn't they edit it?
I mean, that's what it felt like. It really, it can't have, it must have taken them less time, you know, within the sort of logic of the book to get there than it did to me to watch it. And, at the end, they sort of say goodbye to each other and they all hug. So there's like, you know, there's little midget one, you know, Frida, saying goodbye to, you know, Bjorn.
What are they
Benny.
called in the thing? Because are they PC in it? Are they called like midgets and dwarfs?
No, they're called, hobbits.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So we should call small people hobbits from now on.
That's what they are, just to make it kind of topical, and they'll like that as well. Give them sort of, you know.
So if you
make
see a
them
little,
bit
on the way home, if you saw a little
midget fella,
4 foot midget fella, just say, excuse me, hobbit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Call
fine
him
then.
Frodo. Great, Frodo. He'd like it. He'd love it because everyone loves the Lord of the Rings.
They love it. No, everyone loves the Lord of the Rings.
In
yeah.
the end, if you ever get to the end, they all hug each other. They say, well, basically Frodo has to say goodbye to all his other little fellas, and so he's hugging us. I don't know how many of them there are, and he's hugging them, right? And it is the most interminable thing I've ever seen. It's like the music's playing, they look into each other's eyes, he hugs them, they pull back, they look at each other again, that's like, we'll never see each other again. Then he hugs the next one, and I was just screaming, I was thinking, hug, just one big group hug.
Yeah.
Then we can get out of
Like
it.
an American football team.
Exactly.
Just go,
And then go off.
knock
Not
heads.
each individual one. I mean,
Oh.
it's dragging on and
God.
on and on. And apparently on the DVD, there's like an extra sort of 20 minutes of extra footage of scenes he's cut out. Who's watching this tripe? Who cares?
I don't know.
I genuinely,
Have we lost some of our popularity by slagging off Lord of the Rings?
I don't care. Screw them. If you love it, if you can't live without Lord of the Rings, screw you. I don't want you as a listener. I can't fathom it. Really, it's not like I'm trying to be wayward or controversial. I can't get my head around the popularity.
But doesn't Harry Potter annoy you as well, though?
Yeah, but at least it's kind of over in an hour and a half.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
I went to the toilet 3 times during the course of the film.
Really?
It's unbelievable. The woman sat next to me.
Sexy stuff in it, was there?
Some of those little pixies with the pointed ears. It just took me back to all, you know, Mr. Spock. Oh, all those glorious days. But it really is just. I mean, have you seen any of them? You've not bothered.
I've seen one, and it was long, and I thought it was nicely filmed, and I thought, well, okay, I'll just get through it. I even think, it was just a list of, and here come the orcs.
Exactly.
Right, okay, we'll see the orcs now. Yeah.
But it's like people go, look at the amazing fight sequences, the amazing immense battles. And it's true, he's got thousands of actors and stuff on horses, brilliant. But I'm not impressed by good time management.
No.
Well done, he's got all those people together, he's orchestrated it, well done. But
Yeah.
it's got to be more interesting. My friend summed it up. He said the Lord of the Rings films, they're like the film equivalent of an Enya song.
Yeah.
And that to me is exactly right. Lots
exactly.
of billowing dresses, slow musical moments.
That's good.
People riding majestically on horses.
Enya.
Constantly riding majestically everywhere.
Dido's taken over from Enya, and that's
Well,
it.
possibly
I've got a
so.
confession to make.
Go on.
I like that latest Dido song.
I'll play a song. Let me just,
I
I've got
know.
to talk to you about it.
I thought I don't
Rick,
know
what's
what to
going on?
say.
Let me explain something to you about that.
Oh, God.
Baby, come on down till I get there.
Biting Bottles, Richard Ashcroft on XFM.
We've had an email which I suppose puts my hatred of Lord of the Rings into perspective. It says, yeah, you may have spent 10 hours of your life wasting your time with Lord of the Rings, but imagine how many hours of people's lives this show have wasted for our
Yeah,
listeners.
that's true,
I
yeah.
suppose it does, balance
2
it out.
hours a week for a couple of years.
We can never give that back to people.
I know, it shows it mounts up, doesn't it?
Yeah. We should be doing some kind of community service for people, maybe popping around.
Well, this is community service, isn't it? Because Karl, it makes his brain work a little bit,
True.
and it keeps him, from going on holiday, sort of for 2 hours a week, which is good. We spent New Year's Eve together, me and Karl.
Oh, yeah.
It was me and Jane, Karl and Suzanne, her hair doesn't really look like Dave Hill. I must
You didn't
confess.
see it when it was done, though.
Yeah, she had the coat on that you bought her to say sorry, though, didn't she?
Yeah.
And Martin Freeman and his girlfriend Amanda, and Glyn, and we all went for a meal, and then we all went back to ours, and sort of saw in the new year and all that, and all the fireworks, and then in the wee hours when just the drinking seriously starts, we started playing parlour games. And do you know that game when you go round? Started off like with pop bands or rock bands. You have to say a band, and then they have to come up with a band immediately that starts with the letter that your band ended with.
Right.
So Suede, E, Erasure. Do you know what I mean? Go round.
yeah.
And we did that, right? And then we had to change that because people were sort of using the same ones crop up. So I said, well, let's do animals. We were doing animals. And I gave Karl one. I think Karl panicked. You had to do it quite quick. I want to just test it on you.
Okay. Is this bands? What is it?
I said... Now, what did I say? Basically, I said an animal, and it ended with E. Okay, so I go skate.
Eagle.
There you go.
Yeah, but hang on. I think I was the third person. Right. So, think of another one. Hurry up.
Eel.
Yeah, I had that. Yeah, I did that one.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of E's coming up. Elephant.
Yeah.
Do you know what Karl said?
Go on.
Ready?
Yep.
Egg.
Oh, in a sense, I
went-
suppose.
Egg? He went, yeah. I went, no, wrong. He went, well, what? And then Martin came to his rescue and went, well, what is an egg? Animal, vegetable, mineral. I said, well, it's animal, but it's we can't have egg.
But would you allow tadpole?
Well, yes.
Is
Yeah,
that not
because it's a
kinda
larval stage. Yeah, no, but egg, you might as well have leg. Or eye. Uterus. It doesn't count. Egg, you panicked. Brilliant.
Oh.
I still think I'm right.
Well, you're not right. We were naming, you know.
It's a bit of fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You meant, why obey the rules? It's just a
Exactly,
bit
yeah,
of fun.
no, that is true.
Don't
that
bother
is
with the
true.
rules.
That is
You
true.
had the fireworks in the year, did you?
Yeah,
What,
we-
you had them yourself? Or
No,
you
no,
just
no, no,
watched
you
them?
could stare across the river, we could see him. But actually very impressive, and I'll tell you what, they got it right this year. Instead of 2 hours of letting off fireworks, people were going, oh, can we go now? It was 3 minutes, and they spent £1 million on the 3 minutes. And that's it. That's all you can stand, 3 minutes of fireworks.
Oh.
To me, fireworks are like watching Lord of the Rings.
Exactly,
I've
absolutely.
never been impressed as a child.
Never been impressed.
I've never been impressed as an adult. But a big bang, a huge big explosion, that'll do me.
I used to go to, they used to have little community fireworks displays at Christmas, things like that, near our school, maybe in the school or at the local kind of community centre. And I used to go along to them with the family and everything, get the sparklers, and they would have the fireworks, oh, and that would be, and I was just bored silly. And I always thought that if the guy organising it had wheeled out an enormous firework,
Yeah.
climbed in, gone, last one to the moon to Bender, and then shot off, that, I'd have been, yeah,
That'd be good, yeah.
But everything's just
Do
internal.
you reckon I could take out that church?
Yeah,
from
exactly,
here?
yeah.
Money on it. Go
Yeah,
on
yeah,
then. Yeah. That'd be worth it, wouldn't it? But little zoom, another one. Oh Christ.
So a friend of mine was telling me that they once had some indoor fireworks, which apparently is just, I mean, imagine that. Who needs indoor fireworks?
Well, I think that's just little. Yeah. I think one of the things we got indoor fireworks once when I was little, and I remember one of the fireworks was that little celluloid fish that you put in the palm of your hand.
Of course.
And it
Predicts
goes,
the
oh,
future."
you're sexy.
Yeah.
What, it curled up because of the heat of your hand? Yeah. Oh. You're dead. It didn't curl. Actually, it's Grandad. He's dead.
Yes.
His hands are cold. Oh, no. That's the only way that would be... Oh, yeah.
That's the only test
How
it
when did
can
you
do.
discover he was dead? We used one of those predictive fish. It came out dead.
Yeah.
Just flat.
Yeah.
Did you have a good time, though, Karl?
What, your place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good night, wasn't it?
We danced, didn't we?
A bit of a dance.
What, the two of you together?
Yeah, Amanda had got one of those DVD films. No, straight to, DV
A video
cameras.
camera,
It goes
right.
straight to...
DVD.
Yeah,
Okay.
amazing, right? And Karl was doing his moonwalking. I was sort of doing some sort of jazz step, wasn't I? Sort of like Michael Jackson. I ended up jumping up on the couch with both feet and falling straight back on my back.
Of course you did.
I can't believe I was alright.
Yeah.
What's the chance of that? It's when you're drunk that you sort of like... You revert to childhood and you sort of bounce.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, luckily...
Is that DVD going to be available in the shops later this year?
Yeah.
track 1, side 1, the first Talking Heads album, Uh-Oh, Love Comes to Town.
On XFM 104.9.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Rockbusters results, isn't it?
Okay.
All right.
Brilliant.
Do you want the prizes, by the way?
Not really.
Not bothered?
No.
Right, there's some videos and DVDs
Yeah,
and that,
yeah,
some good stuff in there.
VHS, I hope.
Couple.
$4.99.
Is that one about
TV
weather?
titles. What?
There's the weather one. That's going to be on telly. Donald McIntyre.
Oh, yeah.
That's in there, if you want that.
Yeah. He reckons Donald McIntyre ripped him off because he did a thing about how much it costs to have a chimp, cheap as chimps. What was the other thing you think someone ripped you off? Rockbusters?
Ken Bruce on Radio 2 is doing Songs of Phrase. He was doing that over Christmas. I took 1 week off. He's in there.
And when he heard that Donald McIntyre was doing a programme about wind, he thought he was moving on Auntie Nora.
Right. So, the first one, will you leave the entrance to my garden alone? Right, that was the cryptic clue. The initials were GG.
Yeah.
That was Gareth Gates.
Gareth Gates. Gareth. What would you
Gareth Gates.
No,
right?
but it's Gareth Gates, isn't it? So, why would you say to someone Gareth? Is that like what's that, a Manchester thing when you say Gareth?
Gareth Gates.
Gareth Gates, Gareth Gates, the bloke,
yeah.
the bloke who came second in Popeye, yeah, Gareth Gates.
So that's the first
What
one.
was that about getting off the thing though? Leave my entrance alone though. I don't understand what it's got to do with leaving my entrance alone.
The gate
Gareth,
to the
no,
garden.
no, the gates bit, but what's Gareth got to
The
do with it,
second one
you
was
ignoramus?
don't phone, but you can send me a message on
Yeah.
on my mobile if you want.
Yeah.
The initial was T.
Yeah.
Text us, right? Just
No, it's text. The word's text.
Yeah,
So you'd have to say
text
text, me.
text us.
Text, what do you mean? No, text me. What's that?
The third one was we were sharing out the male sheep and that. Right? I got the best one, DG, right? We were sharing out the male sheep. and I
Get
got
to
the
it.
best
It
one.
doesn't work anyway. Get to it. What is it?
Delta Good Ram.
Delta Good Ram. You were dealt a good ram.
Delta Good Ram. All right. So who's the winner?
We're going to give it to Stephen Gunning from Tooting. He's got all of those right. I don't know how, but well done to him, and he wins some crap in a jiffy bag.
Literally.
You too on XFM?
Yeah. Snow Patrol and Run on XFM 104.9.
Yeah, not bad at all, not bad at all.
So everyone had a good Christmas though, yeah? Really? Carl, even though it was like a little bit Lanzarote, it was a nice Christmas.
Yeah.
What was the book you read, by the way? Someone just emailed in and wanted to know. What was the book you read?
It was The Governor.
The Governor?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Did you buy Suzanne a gift in the end? Which you surprised her with on
I
Christmas
did,
Day?
yeah, after that show that we did before Christmas.
Yeah.
I was walking home thinking, oh, might as well treat her then.
Yeah.
Went and got her a necklace.
Nice.
Actually, she said she wanted a necklace, but I didn't know which one, but went and got one.
Yeah.
And she was happy with that.
Yeah. That shut her up.
yeah.
But, yeah.
And did she get you
a gift back?
She did get me something, yeah.
See, we knew she
Of course
would.
she would.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, she got me a little Game Boy Advance to take on holiday, because she
Brilliant.
knows I get bored.
Lovely.
Right? So that was good, but I was like, hang on a minute. I know how much I spent,
Oh,
and I know how much these are, right? But I was clever, though. When I got to the airport, I bought to get me an extra, bought me an extra game for it.
Yeah.
Got the value.
Of course.
when you were growing up, did you wait to ask your mum for sweets right at the counter so the woman would embarrass her into getting you it?
What, you mean just slip it in the basket?
Well, no, just wait till there's some, a stranger watching before you ask for sweets.
Mum, can I have a Kinder Egg?
Did you sit in front of Suzanne when it got to, Suzanne, can you get me something else? Because remember I spent more on that necklace than you did on that Game Boy Advance. And the woman in Dixon's goes, oh, you better get him something else. She goes, oh, bloody hell, all right then.
No. She did well, though. You know what I mean?
She's done well to keep you, hasn't she?
Done well.
Because you're such a find.
You're quite a catch.
Yeah, she must wake up every morning and go, ooh, I am the luckiest girl in the world.
Well, she told you that the other night.
What?
She said the other night how good it is living with me.
Oh, yeah! I said to Suzanne, it must be great, because I only see him 2 hours a week, and I like to squeeze his little head. You can do that all day, every day. Does she ever squeeze your head?
No.
No?
No. It's like that thing, though, isn't it? It's like when you work in a chocolate factory. You get sick of it, don't you? If it's there all the time.
Yeah, she must think, well, I could squeeze that head any time I wanted. It's not worth it. I just, yeah.
Well, What about your Christmas?
My
Day?
dad, I'm wondering if you're turning into my dad, because he bought my mum a bracelet. He won't mind me talking about this, because he said you'll probably talk about this on the radio, and you're right, Dad, I am talking about it. He bought my mum a little gold bracelet, lovely gift, you know, it was a lovely thing, and she opened it, she loved it, and everyone thought, what a great gift, lovely gift. He wouldn't stop talking about it. He wouldn't stop talking about the gift he bought. He kept on grabbing my mum's arm and showing it to people. Look at that. Look at the gleam on that.
The gleam!
See, look at the shine on that. Look at the gleam there. Look at that.
Gleam!
And do you know what he said? He said the great thing about that's pure gold. He went, it's an investment. That's an investment there. Because gold, you know, it's always worth something
I
gold.
love that when people get a gift and it goes an investment. I love it.
But what? Not only does it sort of take away any of the romanticism of it, but it was the way he constantly was talking about how great a gift it was
I'll
that
tell
he
you what,
bought.
I haven't heard the word gleam for 30 years.
Look at the gleam on that.
The gleam.
Look at that, look at the sparkle on that, and look at that, and it looks like rope. That's what he kept saying, it looks like rope. It looks like gold rope. And he just I don't know, I heard it, he disappeared, we were opening gifts, he would disappear, I could hear him in the kitchen going, think about that's pure gold, that, Elaine, that's pure gold.
I might melt that down.
Yeah. John, next door neighbour, John, look at that! Look at the shine on that!
That's great. That's brilliant, though.
But it's just, it doesn't it sort of undermine the gift a bit if you keep on
Well,
droning
no,
on
'cause
about how great it is.
if people enjoy giving, that's nice, isn't it? And you got to, you know, what did your mum say? She
Well,
loved
she
it.
couldn't get a word in edgeways.
That's a step up from a jar of coffee, though, isn't it?
It is a step up, yeah.
That's good. Oh. What about yours?
I didn't get my mum and dad anything this
What?
time. No, because I'm always treating them anyway. Whenever they, you know, if they need a few quid, if I can help
Well,
them,
you
I do.
are the gift that keeps on giving, Carl.
No, but don't just go giving anything just for the sake of it. You know what I mean? Wait for the time that's right, sort of thing. Just because it's Christmas. Because
Yeah, I mean, there's no better time, is there, really?
no, I just was going to say my mum and dad didn't get me anything, but they did.
What they get?
But just some money.
Mm.
But I'll get them something when the time's right. Do you know what I mean? They always need bits and pieces through the year, so
Yeah,
I'll look after them.
sure.
But it was weird being away on
Has anyone
Christmas.
got caught onto the fact that, you know, they leave groceries in the telephone box near your dad yet?
Oh, that's still going on.
Is it?
Going on, yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic, isn't it? That is just fantastic. So when he needs a loaf of bread, pint of milk, just goes down. Does he ever give that as gifts?
Now listen, are we doing the film thing in a bit?
Oh.
Got more prizes.
Yeah?
Is it better than Rockbusters?
It's alright, I did it in a bit of a rush because I was only in yesterday, wasn't I?
Sure.
Well, yeah,
When
if
you
you
do,
take 3 holidays a year, then
So-
there's not enough time for the work. Me and Steve like to, you know, put our priority into, you know, doing the work, coming up with a good product,
Yeah.
and getting a holiday when we can. You know, I haven't
Well,
really
I'd love a holiday, Rick. You know
I'd love a
that.
holiday.
But I don't do the holidays for me, it's for Suzanne, isn't it? She's the one who likes going away.
With
So
you.
I'll just go, so I'll go with her, do me bit.
When you were playing Game Boy, right, and you'd looked in a hole, and you were reading your book, what is she doing?
She'll make things seem more interesting to me. Do you know what I mean? So like, when we're at the hole, and the bus driver said, "You got an hour here," I said, "Why have I got an hour here? I go to a funeral with someone who I loved in the ground and don't spend an hour around it. Why do I want to... Do you know what I mean? Why do I want to spend an hour looking in this?"
Wasn't
And
that
then
terrible when you're out, you just shot up in all this magma?
Yeah.
That was terrible, wasn't it? That was the worst funeral you'd ever been to, wasn't it?
But she'll
I'll tell
sort
you,
of...
that would make funerals more interesting.
If they just, it was a cremation and a burial.
Yeah.
You just put them in a volcano and they
keep
go
shooting
2,
back
3,
out.
here they go, wee, up to heaven.
I was having a conversation with my flatmate about songs that would be inappropriate to have at your wedding, at your funeral. And it's
Horny,
usually-
surely,
that
is
was
one.
it, yeah, it was one
Was
we
it
were
horny,
thinking, yeah, it was
really?
the first one we came up with. I'm horny, 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 horny.
Oh,
that was the
God.
first one we came up with.
Isn't Robbie Williams' Angels one of the,
Yes.
Biggest
and
ones.
I think Wind Beneath Your Wings,
Yeah.
I think is apparently quite popular.
oh yeah, yeah, that's play that on Auntie Nora's, can't you?
Bit of Boston.
Yeah,
A bit of Who Busted?
Boston, more than
Boston,
a feeling.
right.
It's much more than a feeling. Boston, more than a feeling. XFM 104.9. Well, another big moment here. We've had Rockbusters. Now we're going to have Carl's film quiz thing, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a film quiz thing. I've done Planet of the Apes, right? Because one of the things we did in Lanzarote went on this tour with sort of 3 northern blokes, and they didn't really know what they were talking about.
Joking. You're joking. What? Northerners not knowing what they're talking about. You're having a laugh.
No, they'd obviously sort of not had much luck here, right, and thought, let's go over to Lanzarote, buy some vans, right, get people in it, we'll do a tour of the island. And whenever someone asks the question, like, what year did the volcano happen, they go, oh, we'll take you to the visitor centres, you can read about it there. So they never actually answered anything, right? So they were useless. But one of the things that they told us was that Planet of the Apes was filmed in Lanzarote.
Right, okay.
Right?
That makes sense.
A bit of it. Well, does it?
Does
it make sense?
Well, what do you
All right,
mean,
well, maybe
does
it was, maybe it wasn't. Okay, anyway.
No, I mean, if they wanted to show sort of an barren, sort of post-apocalyptic sort of subject, choose where you went on holiday.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, but when we were there, he took us to this sort of beach, and I said, "Is this where they did it?" And he was like, "Yeah." I said, "What? Right there, yeah." And I watched it, and I couldn't see where I was.
Yeah, you know that if you watch a film from 1968 and you've been to the same place, you're not going to feature. They're not going to see you in the back walking along the beach.
It's a new one, new Planet of the Apes.
Oh, the recent Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's what they said. Yeah.
Right.
So I thought I'd sort of.
Now that sounds a little bit more far-fetched. I would have thought that was probably a lot in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, is this the current Planet of the Apes or the old one you've done?
Current Planet of the Apes.
This is the recent one.
All right, there'll be a question at the end of it, so listen on that.
Is this entertaining to anyone, this? I mean, just take the last 4 minutes of conversation.
But seriously, Rick, who cares?
I don't.
Do you?
No.
I don't.
DVD's selling well.
Exactly, what do I care?
Right, come on then.
All right, so Planet of the Apes, question at the end of it, listen and win some stuff. All right?
Hey, where am I? What is this place?
Hang on a minute, I'll have a look. According to the Lanzarote guide, we've been dropped off at the volcano bit. Apparently there's 36 volcanoes here to be seen.
I hope you don't mind my saying, but this is a waste of time.
I know what you mean. Don't know why they need 36 volcanoes. Just keep one. Fill the rest in. Like a car park or something. Excuse me, guide. Why's the bus dropped us off here? What's so special about this place?
Well, according to our holy writings, that is where creation began, where the Almighty breathed life in the time before time.
Well, it's amazing that, isn't it? All this has been stood here for years and years. What about the coffee shop there? Is that old, is it? Well, nothing. You're out to rip us off. I bet it's about £4 for a coffee there. Always ripping people off. That's what annoys me with these trips. You get us in the middle of nowhere, we die in a thirst. I'm not able to do without. The reason I've come here, I believe this is where they did Planet of the Apes, innit? Love monkeys. Especially the ones in Planet of the Apes, because they talk and that.
Talking monkeys can't exist.
Joking, aren't you? Of course they can. Getting up to all sorts of stuff. I read about a monkey the other day who worked on the railway. Right, there was another one about a chimp that did a bank job and went off to Spain to sort of...
Shut up!
Oh, hey.
What is that?
Little monkey fella. It's come from that little coffee shop. It's been serving coffee. Now that is worth paying £4 for.
No, you're teasing him.
I'm not teasing it. It's working, isn't it? It's serving the... We want some coffee. Get us some coffee. I've heard about this. You can buy coffee that's been sort of hand-picked by monkeys. It's like Coffee Mate, except it's more sort of coffee primate. Yeah. Hello, little fella. We want coffee.
What do you mean, we?
You're gonna have a coffee, aren't you? What else are you gonna do? Go and look at another 35 volcanoes? I'm staying here. I'm having a monkey coffee. It's brilliant.
You find this amusing?
Jesus, it's a talking monkey. All right, mate. Have a couple of coffees.
Don't start now. We're off duty. I'm starving.
What do you mean you're off duty? Have you been on us later? Just get us a couple of... Alright, I understand that you're tired and you've probably been on your hands all day. So forget the coffee. You go and get some lunch. After you've got some coach, you lazy ass.
You damn human!
Powerful.
Lovely. Excellent. So, what's the question?
If you've been listening to the whole show, how many volcanoes do I think's on the island of Lanzarote?
Okay.
Yeah.
I might have it wrong, what I've been saying, but it's roughly around that.
Yeah, so what have you been saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Brilliant.
right. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. You're more likely to win the prize if you leave your address on the email.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we can't really be bothered to phone people or email them back. So,
Good point.
Put your address on there and you could win some crap.
In a jiffy bag. Carl's theme tune there by Placebo. Special Needs on XFM 104.9.
Alright.
New Year's resolution, Carl?
I don't know. I don't do it. Really. Don't
What
worry
about something like, I don't know, start smoking? Do you know, there must be something.
No, it's a waste of time, isn't it? Don't bother with that.
Right?
You,
Any-
Steve?
Me, no, I've never really made any New Year's resolutions. I just be good to people. Just treat everyone as you want to be treated yourself. Give to charity. Hate crime, racism, famine, sexism.
I know you're going to keep to all those, except the gift to charity. Me and Carl find that a little bit hard to believe.
Never gonna happen. Well, you've always got to break at least one of your New Year's resolutions.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I think I'll be nice to Carl. What about learn more? I was thinking that. I want to
I'm
learn
always
more.
teaching you stuff.
I've got. I watched. I'll tell you what. Christmas telly was dreadful this year. I don't know if I've hit that age where I think, but I think consciously I thought this is worse than usual.
Yeah.
And I ended up watching Discovery Channel and History Channel again, and I watched 4 episodes in a row of this fantastic documentary, 1418 War, narrated by Dame Judi Dench. And it's brilliant. I just can't get enough of it. I hated history at school, and now I want to know everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's mine. Learn all the stuff about stuff.
I like learning though. I always
Yeah.
say that to you. I'm always looking up stuff. When I was on holiday, even though it was sunny outside and they had big holes to look at if I wanted to, I stayed in and watched Discovery there and was watching stuff about scorpions and that.
Yeah. What did you learn?
Well, nothing, because it was all in Spanish. But I just watched it. What I found out, right? What I found...
Scorpio,
What I don't understand is with scorpions, right? They have like this sort of weapons, don't they? They have the poison and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which can kill a man.
Yeah.
But there was a couple of little animals and that were its sort of enemy,
Yeah.
and it stung them, and it didn't kill them. So what's the point?
Well, firstly, not all scorpions kill them. Some of them,
This one
things,
did, they said.
Yeah, well, they range from like bee stings to so much venom it can take down a horse on things like spiders and snakes and scorpions. So it depends. But a scorpion that will kill a man would kill a rabbit. So I don't know what you're talking about.
No, there was a snake that it stuck its sting into, and some sort of beaver, and they were just like running about.
There's nothing funny about that, so why are we laughing?
Well, the snake wasn't running about, was it?
Well, it was slithering about a bit.
Yeah. What was the beaver doing when the snake...
It just sort of, I think it ate it in the end.
What? Ate what?
Ate the scorpion, and just wandered off.
Well, it wasn't a beaver.
So there you go,
There's
you've
no
learned that.
way it was a beaver.
Alright, an otter. It was,
This is what you pieced together from a show in Spanish.
well, I'm just saying though, how come it can't kill something that small, yet there's someone on holiday that's no sort of danger to that scorpion, we're not going to harm it, right? And yet it can kill a man.
So you
Shut
say,
up,
but I
Carl.
don't believe it.
Shut up, mate. Seriously, this is gobbledygook.
Taught you something again though, that's what I'm
No,
saying.
what have
I'm
you
always-
taught us though? What is that? What is the fact that's come out of that? A scorpion can kill a man, but the beaver was dancing with a snake, then it
Well,
ate it.
you do that
That's
all
not
the
a
time,
fact.
though. You
That's
put
not a
everything
fact.
down. New Year's Eve I taught him something, right, about dead people.
No, you know, it things it taught me. I was saying you're talking shite. He says they found out your soul weighs an ounce.
Your soul.
Yeah, your soul weighs an ounce.
Right, who found this out?
I read it.
Your arsehole weighs an ounce.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. A soul weighs an ounce. You're talking drivel.
Alright.
Have you got any
yeah.
monkey news?
So what did they do? They weighed someone who was alive, and they will wait for you to die, then weigh you again.
There was
Isn't
someone
that
who-
you've lost an ounce. You know, so it must be your soul shooting off to heaven.
It was someone who was really ill, and they
Yeah.
said, we can't do anything for you here, but we've got a bit of an idea that we want to do. We've been meaning to do this. Stuck him on some scales. He said, right, you weigh 9 pounds and an ounce or whatever, because he was wasting away. He died, 9 pounds. Right?
Fine, well, that's proof if proof be needed.
Talking shite.
Monkey news. We might as well leave it.
No, come on,
No, come on, tell monkey news.
No, it's nothing that great, really.
Is it worth playing the jingle? Quickly.
Go on then.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news!
Right, it's about a monkey.
2004. Four.
It's about this woman monkey who was born in 1834. Right, half monkey, half woman.
No, not true.
It happened. Apparently, it was in the Daily Mail. Right.
Okay.
The Victorian ape woman was her name.
Yeah, I christened this thing Victorian Ape Woman. Well, we thought Sandra. No, I'm calling it Victorian Ape Woman.
She was about 4 foot.
No, didn't happen.
She had lovely thick black hair on her head and on the back of her legs and her arms.
Yeah.
Alright.
So stockings.
Let's have a look.
And she didn't need a bustle because of a huge ape-like arse sticking out the back of her dress.
She was good at reading and sewing.
Well, good, because they didn't have opposable thumbs, so,
she could speak 3 languages.
Yes.
She was
Human, monkey, and monkey-human.
20 offers of marriage. Does that annoy you, Steve?
Absolute twaddle.
Alright, well,
Like, more rubbish than your soul weighing an ounce.
Let's leave
a
it there.
Victorian monkey
Let's
woman.
leave it there, then.
See you next week with some more twaddle.
I was worried we wouldn't have the old magic in 2004, but we're still talking shit. Merry New Year.
Snow Patrol and Run on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Yeah.
So that's 3 for 1. I don't know. All right.
Exciting.
News. Breaking news is that there's only 2 more weeks of us before we have to go away on a little extended break again. So, can't give any more details yet. We don't know when we can come back because, we don't know what we're doing. We're going to, America. We're doing the Golden Globes, and then we're going to watch the Office pilot being filmed.
Yes.
And then we got bits. I'm doing a bit of a tour, so it'll be sort of the summer times probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm saying it like they care.
Oh, they don't give a damn.
Do you know what I mean? I sometimes think that because you think, oh, you don't want to let down the people. You want to keep it consistent. You want to give, but really, I know I like doing this more than anyone listening.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
I love coming in, I love squeezing Carl's head.
Yeah.
I love playing some records. You know, I like sort of sitting in the room with you. I know you love it.
Oh.
I can't wait.
I can't think of anything else I'd rather be doing on a Saturday.
Yeah. So, we got our Saturdays back though.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I mean, my alarm went off today and I was a bit tired because we had a couple of drinks last night, didn't we?
Last night, yeah.
We had, you know, we're party animals. I've been looking for an office this week, as you know. And it's so stressful. Just walking around, just talking to agents and, right, okay. So, my method is this, right? I walk round the area that I want to be an office in, because I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I walk round, to be fair, it is about a square 500 yards.
Yeah.
Right? It's sort
Your
of.
house is in the centre.
Yeah. I walk, and, so I walk round and look at placards. I go, that's a nice office, and I phone them up. There's loads of different people I'm dealing with, right? And they went, oh, we got one in so-and-so street. I think it was 5th Street or something. I went, oh yeah, I went along to, I'll see you there in 20 minutes. I got there. You were there, if you remember. I looked round and I said to Steve, it looks alright. There's no pawn shops or anything like that, right? And Steve went, well, it is next to a brothel. And I looked, and there on the next thing, like, you know, model, 1st floor, Susie, 03, and I phoned him and I said, do you know what? Don't bother coming here. No, I said, no, I said, because it's next to a brothel. He went, yeah. I went, right, okay. Just for future reference, I don't want an office literally next to a brothel, right? When I go to work, I don't want to walk past prostitutes. Call me old-fashioned,
Yeah,
right?
as you're going into work, there's a prostitute.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning. Oh, I just got a cappuccino. Yeah, Starbucks, yeah. Business good? Yeah, it's a bit slow at the moment. But it picks up later this evening, does it really? Good. And, I said to him, I've got so my New Year's resolution is being like a little fascist when it comes to business. And I said, also future reference, no crack dens and no wild animals in the porch. And, I just can't believe it. There's always something wrong. We went to one, right? It got there, right? And, a woman said, oh, I'm new here. She didn't know what keys she was using. And she went, it's the 3rd floor. And she went, there's no point, we won't both get in the lift. I went, right, will you get a desk in the lift? Right, she went, I've got a chair in the lift before. Brilliant. So, just find me an office, Rathbone Place, sort of Percy Street, Charlotte Street, Dean Street.
Yeah.
Yeah. First or second
I'm
floor.
worried we're going to get emails from estate agents, phone calls from them. You know what those people are like.
I don't look at the emails.
True. Fair enough.
So, play a
Fair
record.
enough.
Sexist. Joe Jackson, different for
Well,
girls.
he's not in the charts anymore.
I can't believe it.
Unbelievable. You were talking about renting an office. I'm a little bit intimidated because I'm just at the moment thinking about trying to buy a flat or something because I'm just tired of pissing money down the drain.
I know. Yeah.
And but I'm really petrified. I've put it off because I'm really gullible. When I'm confronted with anyone in a suit who sort of knows what they're talking about, they can sell me anything. I'm intimidated. It's like, you know, you're supposed to go in there and you're supposed to sort of act like you're the guy with the money, this is what I want, this is what no. But I go in there and it's like I'm afraid they're gonna say, clear off, I don't wanna sell you a house. I'm not interested.
Have you ever thought of, like, really putting on sort of like some sort of cool air? Like, sort of like kicking the door and going, what's that? Is it like, you'd be found out in 30 seconds, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
You'd go in there, you'd stub your toe, and they go, what are you keeping like, I'll put my toe, I'll put my toe.
Exactly, yeah.
Brilliant.
Just tapping the walls.
Yeah, tapping the wall. What's the rates on? What rates? I don't know.
Well, do you remember, I don't know if I told you before, I wanted to buy a laptop computer, and everyone said, go up Tottenham Court Road, and I was reading, like, magazines and stuff, they were saying haggle, make sure you haggle, make sure you're planning to haggle, get the best deal you can, and I found a shop which was selling the computer I wanted, and I went in there, and I had this whole plan in my mind of what was going to happen. He was going to say, like, it's worth this, I'm going to go, well, look, I can get it cheaper here, I want to buy it from you, I'm going to haggle, and off I went. So I went in the shop, and I said, yeah, looking for this, interest in this Toshiba. How much is it? He went, oh, it's 1,500 quid. I went, sure. Okay. I said, I'll give you 1,300. He went, it's 1,500. And I said, sure, but I'm willing to give you 1,300. He went, 1,500. And I was done already because he hadn't even begun to haggle. And I was assuming he'd at least go 1,400 and we could start, but nothing. So now I was screwed. My whole plan went out the window.
Yeah. Well, you just leave.
No, I said to him, the thing is, I can get this computer cheaper down the road, but, you know, I like what you're providing me, I like your service. I've had good stuff about you. It was amazing. I said, I've heard good stuff about you. And he went, I said, seriously, I can walk down the street, I can buy it there for cheap, for like 1,400. And he went, well, see you later then. And I was like, right. So I walked out the place. I said, well, I'm gonna have to leave then. And I walked out the place, and, because I wanted to get it from there, because it was still the cheapest, so I had to walk back in again. I went, yeah. I've just had some second thoughts. Listen, I'll tell you what, I'll pay the 1,500, can I get a free carry case? He went, the carry case is free anyway. I said, I'll take it.
Carry case is free
I got
anyway.
nothing.
No, but how much would you charge for that if it was on sale? Carry case a tenner. Well, let's just say it is a tenner. Give it to me for free. And he went, no, it's a tenner. And you went, well, you said it was free a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it's just pathetic.
That is lovely.
It's having to walk out making a big statement and then come back in again.
Oh dear.
So I'm really scared. I feel like I need someone to come with me and do all the talking. You know what they're talking about. Because I'm not going to be able to tell if there's subsidence or if there's damp or...
No, but you don't do that.
Don't I? Is that not my
No,
responsibility?
you get a survey done.
Sure.
And they charge for that, and then yeah, you don't have to go around doing it yourself.
Right. Could I make a saving if I did it myself?
Yeah, this should be alright.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the wall, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's the hole in the wall?
Put some newspaper
in
over that.
Chaucer's day, that was the toilet. That'd be fine. Carl, you're a second-time buyer, aren't you? But
Yeah. Bought one in Manchester. Lost 7 grand on that one.
well, don't buy in Manchester.
No, it's a good flat. It's just it wasn't. I didn't buy it to sort of make money. I thought I was going to be living there like all my life, and then a job came up here, and it was like, oh.
You bought your first flat in Manchester. You assumed you would be living there for the rest of your life.
Well, I wasn't in a rush.
Play record. You're an idiot.
Hang on a minute. So have you got a property portfolio? Have you got the 2 houses now?
No, I've got rid of that one.
Oh, you sold that one?
Got this
at
flat.
£7,000
Got
loss.
this flat. I'll tell you something that is interesting.
Hold on, though.
What?
£7,000 lost. It's a flat in Manchester, but it could only cost about 8 grand anyway.
Right, Steve, something they do now, right, they've got to do by law when you're buying, right? I was looking at one in London, right? It's haunted. They've got to tell you now.
Right, don't talk shit.
I'm telling you
Play
now.
a record.
I'm telling you now.
Yeah. There's no such thing as ghosts. That is ridiculous if that appears on a legal document.
Right, if there's anyone
ridiculous.
who sells flats and that, does that for a living.
Yeah.
Right, email in, because I'm telling you now, that is a fact. She sort of dropped it in. I said, oh, you know, nice feel here. And she said, yeah, well, that'll be the ghost. Just dropped it in, that's all they've got to do. And then I was like, what? And they went, oh, yeah.
That's what I've got to do, is it? So that's the legal thing. Did you drop it in? So in court you go, did you drop it in? Yeah, I dropped it in. Play a record, you're an idiot.
This is love in Italy.
That's David Gray, and this is love, if you're in love. I hope it lasts. It's only January. What you got for us,
I just
Steve?
thought we ought to maybe go through some of the emails. I mean, I don't want to query the calibre of some of the emails we get sent on this show, but, here's a typical one, Rick.
Go on.
There's no name, it's just from Glicko, that's his email address. It's just a question to you, Rick. Did I see you walking around Marylebone High Street last Sunday?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I mean-
I was in Marylebone High Street last Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, but did you see Glicko?
I didn't see Glicks. I didn't see the Glickster,
Alright, this is one from M. Ricky, what do you think of Richard Bacon's show? I can't decide if he's better than you.
nor can I.
Any thoughts?
Nor can I can't help her out on that one.
Sure.
That's a really personal thing. She's got to dig deep. She's got to look at both of us. She's got to find out what she likes.
Yeah.
And then whether I provide more of that than Baker's.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Baker Foyle's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put myself up against him, so I can't help you. Next, Steve, next.
Well, there's a lot of emails last week, which were saying how much they enjoyed the Christmas specials. Thank you very much for that. That's very flattering of you.
Cheers.
There was also a couple. There was one. It was a guy. I'm sorry that I think I might have deleted it. But I should have sent a reply, because there was a guy from Canada saying if there any chance you're around in March, whether you could pop in and have a surprise birthday dinner for his wife.
Oh, why do you keep that?
I know. Sorry about that.
I can't let it go now, can I, you idiot? Okay.
I don't. I really apologise for that.
Yeah.
There's also, this is interesting, this is more for Karl, really. It seems unlikely.
Is it from a doctor saying you're an idiot?
We've got plenty of those, I tend to delete them.
Okay, alright, yeah. Look at his face!
No, it just says, don't like to complain, but I won the film competition about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and I haven't received my prizes.
Oh dear, that's all Karl has to do
That's what
on
I
the
was
show.
thinking.
We provide the chat, the records, the light entertainment. I mean,
glamour.
Strokes of comedy genius. All Karl has to do is send out the prizes and say, there was a monkey that was a bank robber at 5 to 3.
What's your
Karl.
excuse, Karl?
Do you remember her winning? I've got all.
Well, you're calling her a liar?
Well, I am, because I don't remember ever seeing.
Right, he's calling
address
her a
on it.
liar.
So, Joanne Ogden, you're claiming, is just making this up. She sent this in on a whim, trying to fool us and get some cheap tat.
Wow.
I don't believe that. I don't believe anyone would lie to try and get knowing me, knowing you on VHS. I really don't.
Well, I'll look in the records, because we keep all the details, so. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Well, one of you's in the wrong. Do you know what? Knowing you, Karl, I don't think it's Joanne.
No.
Has anyone else ever emailed in saying they haven't got the bag of crap? No, they haven't. They haven't.
Well, yeah, but one mistake's one too far, because that's one person. So, you might send out 30, but that one person, that's the first time they've won a competition. They want the history of wind narrated by Donald McIntyre on VHS.
Yes.
And, you know.
Stephen King's It on Betamax.
Yeah. No, sometimes they want the best of Primal Scream on a cassette.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Got to make sure you're sending these prizes out. Final email from Andy. He says, the webcam is pointing at the ceiling. Is it because the air conditioning vent is more exciting than what happens on the show?
Let's put that down now.
That's absolutely right.
Hold on a minute. Now, just, if someone... Is that good?
People love the webcam. I don't know what they're interested in, because all I get is a picture of Karl's big head.
It's not a big, it's just round.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got it right.
Yeah.
Karl, I'd like you to play the next tune. I got sent a little cheeky, primer for The Cure's Join the Dots. It's B-sides and rarities, lots of stuff from them, from all over the ages. And it's amazing how good their B-sides are. Here's one of them, play it.
Yeah.
And that's called A Man Inside My Mouth, which was the B-side to Close to Me. There's nothing amusing about that, Rick. I don't know why you're laughing.
Wow.
It's called A Man Inside My Mouth.
Yeah, I know.
And that's fine.
Yeah, it's like, the little man inside your head.
Yeah. You know,
Man
if
inside
a
your
man
mouth.
wants to be inside anyone's mouth, that's good, good luck to him. Yeah.
But,
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I agree.
Yeah.
Carl, do you agree with that?
What man in your head? What does that mean?
Brilliant, isn't it?
Extraordinary.
It
Look at his
doesn't even
face.
understand schoolboy carry-on innuendo.
Amazing.
I know the fact that the play on words is too far then. What does he mean on site, the erection? What? What do you mean dumplings? Huh?
You're a fan of The Simpsons. You know that character in The Simpsons, the gap-toothed yokel?
Yeah.
If I look at Carl when he's perplexed, Cletus. It's very similar. It's the kind of cliche comic book thing of having a mouth wide open to suggest formlessness. Oh. It's amazing.
Or an accommodating come on.
Yes. Absolutely.
Carl. That little man inside your head, it's what, you know, if that people use it as your conscience, don't they?
Alright.
Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah.
No?
No.
No? Okay.
I was, Rick, I was watching Moonraker. It was on, I think it was last week.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar you are with the James Bond films.
I don't think I've ever watched a Bond film from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I've never watched one on DVD, and I've never gone to cinema to watch one, and I'm not usually in on Easter Saturday.
Exactly. But the
Honestly.
thing about James Bond, when I was younger, I thought he was amazing. I just thought he was the ultimate cool, sophisticated hero. Do you know what I mean? My dream as a kid, like when I say kid, I mean a teenager, was to come home, which invariably he did. He'd come back to his hotel suite, he'd open the door, there'd be a trail of clothes, and he'd follow it, he'd go into the bedroom, there'd be a beautiful woman in the bed, you know.
You just said, clean up, man. What are you doing? You're messy. I'm gonna have to get my mum to clean all this up now.
Mum,
she's got a bad
there's a
back.
nudie lady in my bed. But, and as I say, I used to think he was really cool and sophisticated, and it's only of late that I've sort of revisited these films, and I'll tell you what, it's his jokes.
Oh!
He is the most
his sense of humour.
infuriating man ever.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know why people in the films consider him so... I mean, I think the reason that women in the films are always being seduced by him is because, if you notice, they've normally got English as a second language.
Right.
So they don't understand. So when he's making those jokes...
So they don't know when he goes, just keeping the British end up.
Yeah, I'm just attempting re-entry.
Yeah.
If that was a British woman, she'd be going, what? What are
Yeah,
you talking
don't
about,
say
you
that. That
dirty
sounds
bastard?
awful, and it's a terrible
It's
pun,
so
Roger.
rude, what am I?
Yeah, what am I? Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I mean.
And they just laugh
They
politely.
just laugh coquettishly and then, you know, unzip their dress and all that. But some of the guys, there was one where he's being chased by a guy in a moped or something, and the guy plummets off a cliff and smashes through a van which is full of feathers, and he plummets to his death, and Bond just says, all those feathers, and he still couldn't fly. What are you talking about? What do you mean it's not a joke? It's just words. There's one where in Moonraker, he punches this guy, he's having a fight, he punches him through a plate glass window, and he lands on a piano, and Bond goes, play it again, Sam. And there's the one, I always remember there's the one in one of the early films where he throws a guy in a bath and electrocutes him by throwing in a thing, and then he goes, absolutely shocking. But I'm just thinking, you've just killed a man.
I know.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah,
And it's just so excruciating. If someone was doing those kind of jokes in the office,
Yeah.
you would hate them. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to talk to them, they'd be a bore.
I know, yeah, everything's a little
Everything's a
one-liner,
one-liner.
I know, and everything's a pun.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, he's a bloody good secret agency.
That's true.
So, you know, they're not hired for their, wit and, stand-up ability. So, you know, there's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
I doubt Johnny Vegas could, save the world.
That's true enough, yeah.
So, think on, different people, different needs. Kings of Leon, California Waiting on XFM 104.9. Do you know what, Steve? We get emails and, we got our posters up around this show and, people enjoy it. But I don't think we get the credit we deserve for picking the music.
It's true.
Because we're totally unplaylisted, and I don't know if people know about this, that mine and Steve's sort of first passion before comedy is probably music. We're really, we love playing each other sort of records and that. And maybe when we come back, we should do a show where there is no pressure to, like Carl doesn't press the buttons for us, pre-record it, where we swap each other's sort of ideas for music.
It'd be like the Ricky Gervais compilation tape.
Well, sort of like, we're not talking John Peel, where we try and find obscure Belgian jungle and do demos. You know, everything from, Kings of Leon, Lou Reed, maybe a bit of 80s stuff people have forgotten about.
Beautiful songs.
So what do you think?
I'd love to do that, Rick. I mean, genuinely, there's nothing more exciting to me than introducing to someone a song which they then go on and they love and they listen, maybe they buy the album, da-da-da-da.
But that's something to think about, maybe, for later.
Yeah. Well, it's like you say, the pressure to kind of come up with some, high caliber chat between each record, it takes the toll.
But yeah, and that's you know, it's a passion of ours, and we'd love to. But now it's Rockbusters.
Can I just say something now before we do Rockbusters? A lot of people they come up to me, they say, Steve, we like the show. When are you going to get rid of Rockbusters? It brings it down. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. There is lots of people.
Come on, let Carl speak.
Come off it.
What?
Come off it.
What?
I know people who say, you're never going to stop that, are you? So one of us is lying again.
Well, not really. You know, I'm talking about people who've listened to the show. You're talking about Suzanne, your girlfriend.
Martin, he'll be at home now with a pad, getting ready to play.
But I should just.
Max Freeman did encourage Carl on a couple of occasions. He even tried to get him through with the answer egg when we were doing that naming animal round.
Yes.
So,
but I should just say that people think that somehow Ricky and I are endorsing Rockbusters, that somehow by allowing it on the show, somehow we think it's good or we appreciate it. And I need to point out that it's more like when a child comes back from school and they've done a painting.
Yeah.
It's crap.
Yeah.
But of course you've got to stick it on the fridge.
bigger than the house.
You've got to stick it on the fridge because otherwise the kid's going to get upset.
In this next episode, you've got to remember the cat is bigger than the house.
Exactly.
Okay.
It doesn't look like anything.
The humans don't have bodies, their legs come straight from their head.
Yeah. Mummy and Daddy.
Please welcome to the stage, Karl Pilkington's Rockbusters.
Alright. Right, so, cryptic clues, initials,
cryptic.
and you work
Rubbish
it out
clue.
and you email in and that.
Yeah.
First one.
Yeah.
Don't be stealing my tools. Take your sister's. Alright, and the initials NK.
Don't be stealing my tools. Take my sister's.
Yeah, so that's like the cryptic clue, and the initials of the artist or band is NK. Right? Second one. Buy it if you want, not bothered. Think about it. Come back. Right? Come back if you want.
Start again, Carl! Last halfway through! Right, start that second one again!
Right, well, you can buy...
It's different! Well, the first one was, buy it if you want, now this one was, yeah, well, write it down, buy it. Right, do it. If it's a cryptic clue, all the letters count. Do it.
Buy it if you want, I'm not that bothered. You know, think about it, come back, check some other places out first before you know...
That was a crossword clue! In the Times! So we've got no time for other clues. Right.
So that's SC.
Right, do that clue again.
Buy it if you want, I'm not fussed, do you know what I mean? Think about it.
Fast is making an appearance! Fast wasn't there before! Do the clue again. Do the clue again!
Initials SC for that one.
Do the clue again.
I don't want to do it again.
You haven't finished it yet?
I have, that's it.
No, do the clue again.
Can't do it again.
Do the clue again.
Well, buy it if you want, I'm not fussed, right? Shop around, come back. It's up to you. I'm not pushing you into anything.
It's
right?
up to you, wasn't there?
SC for that one, right? And the final one, that's good, I can play 10-pin bowling again.
Okay, and what's the clue?
That's O for that one. O. Alright, so...
Okay, now I assume... I'm not going to bother to look, but I assume there's a jiffy bag of taps which people can win. Alright, well, great, good luck. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk is the email address.
Thorns.
No, buy it if you want. I'm not fussing. Come back, have a look round. I'm open Wednesdays, by the way. Shut up, I'll see you later. Thorns and No Blue Sky, off their album of last year, which is probably my favourite album of the year. I've started getting into that sort of like music, more serious thing in case we do it.
I mean, I don't know, from that comment, maybe we should do some preparation.
Pre-record it.
Yeah.
So we can sort of like cut all the ums and ahs and
like
me sort of like eating a sandwich while it's on, singing along, tapping a little bit. Yeah. I won't lay down like this either. We'll get me a chair that I can sort of be upright so I can enunciate.
You weren't in the room, were you, when Carl was singing along to Oliver's Army?
No.
It was a joy. Checkpoint Charlie. Oliver's Army. No idea.
Oh, bless him.
No,
Rockbusters, well on the way. Any right answers yet, Carl?
Let's just check. Let me see, we got, one email.
One email?
No.
No, because they probably don't make sense.
Yeah, no responses whatsoever.
There's some on the text and that.
Really?
83 XFM if you want to do it on the old,
Speak up, Carl. Not just
We're on the radio.
Steve, no, we're on the radio, we're live.
Just letting you know, do it on the text if you want. Send it in on the text.
And what? Well, what is it? Say it!
83 XFM.
Right.
Right?
What's the email address again?
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Are you tired today, Carl? Are you just bored or...?
Oh, well, I'm alright, I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, well, no, I just wanted to mention to you, I went to, a pub near my house recently. I found out that there was a pool hall.
Oh,
You could
yeah.
join, like a pool club there. I love pool. I like to think of myself as looking a little bit like Paul Newman in The Hustler.
Yeah.
When I'm shooting pool.
Yeah.
And, I went down there, and I went with my flatmate, and, it's quite a seedy pub, in many respects. There's a lot of weird people in there, like alcoholics, and...
Why did they go there?
Strange, isn't it?
Weird, isn't it? Yeah. Go on.
And, very, very odd people. And, so he's a little bit nervous, and he said, I'm a bit worried, because there's a lot of kind of, there's people from the estate, the nearby council estate,
Yeah, yeah.
For want of a better word, scum. And, so he's a bit edgy, and, bizarrely, because I so wanted to play pool, I said to him, he went, I'm a bit scared about going in. I went, don't worry, you're with me.
Yeah.
I don't know what, I don't know what that means. They're gonna think, oh wait a minute, the 6 foot guy with the lanky guy with the glasses, I'm not gonna mess with him.
You go there, they take your glasses off and you go, I've lost.
Exactly.
That's it, I'm out of here.
This is why I've never got into a fight, because if my glasses are gone, I'm screwed. That's the first
Are
thing
you
do.
really, really short-sighted, aren't you?
I'd be absolutely done for.
And are you nervous are you sort of like nervous
Yes.
without them?
Whenever you see like a kind of action film or whatever, or maybe like a horror film,
The nerd
where
loses
loses
glasses,
and he's travelling around on the floor
Is that
whilst
you,
the
is it?
kid are coming behind him. That's me.
Really?
Yeah, done for. Absolutely done for.
What did you do when you were at school when you had to play tennis or football or rugby or something?
Kept him on.
That's dangerous,
Well, of
isn't
course it is. That's why I was never, as good at rugby as I probably could have been. Because of course you can. How can you play rugby with glasses on? I'm in the scrub going, careful! Your boots! Hello!
Yeah. Never mind me nads.
Exactly.
Watch my glasses.
But, so I went in there, because I used to do judo when I was very young.
Well, that's the impossible.
But this is ludicrous.
That
You
must go falling off.
Oh, of course.
What about gaffer tape? Just sort of like round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I bought something like a kind of a sports strap to keep them on, and it just pushed them right into my eyes. I could barely see. I was always blinded. But I swear, when I used to go to judo, I'm sure that the other kids were being taught, right, just knock Steve's glasses off. Knock his glasses off, you can get him.
Dear.
So I'm always a bit edgy about fights, but for some reason I felt super confident going in there. I was like, I swaggered in, and, into the pool hall, and it's one of those places you've got to sort of knock, it's like a speakeasy, you've got to knock, and they open the door, and you come in.
Yeah.
And, I'm in there, and, my
Yeah, one of those things you slide, like a little letterbox, they slide over. You knock, you open it up, you put your face down, you just knocked your glasses off.
Exactly. And, so I went in there, and, in a way, my flatmate was justified in being a little bit edgy, because, the conversation we could overhear, the table next to us, we were playing pool, the guy next to us was going, yeah, of course, the bloody police. Spent Boxing Day in the Nick. Absolute nightmare.
You're getting nervous.
So I was getting a little bit edgy, because I didn't know, but then I thought, they don't mess with their own. We're almost like gangsters ourselves, because we're there in the lion's den, do you know what I mean? We'll probably be fine. So then, there's just an old guy serving at the bar, in his 50s, and some guys go over to the jukebox, some young kids, they're just hanging out in the pool hall, they're pretty cool. They put some money in the jukebox, and then first track, Coldplay. Fine, I'm thinking that's nice, I'm playing pool. Second track, hardcore German techno. and they put in about 50 quid's worth, it seemed, because it just went on. Really thumping, kind of like GABA stuff. Old guy at the bar, just nodding his head, cleaning the glass.
Yeah.
So into this...
Piano player, furious.
Exactly. Into this comes, like, what appear to be a family of holidaymakers with kids. So they've entered this, like, seedy pool hall. We've got, the Cray twins playing pool next to me. They've come in, the German techno's blaring. They come in, and there's, like, kids, and they've got the baby in one of those little pouches, and they sit down, and, the weirdest thing was one of the guys, the uncle, let's say, of the family, he picked up the kid, and he was about to put the baby down in a chair, and I thought, hang on, that's quite a hard-backed chair. And as he did it, the baby's head just went, and hit the back of the chair, and, just flipped back and hit the back of the chair, because he just lumped it down in the
God.
thing. And it started screaming, it crying, and the, teenagers were rocking to that, they loved it. And he came over, and it was transparent what had happened, and the mum was going, what's happened? The baby's crying. And he went, I don't know what happened. And I wanted to lean over and go, you lying swine! You know what happened? You just he said, I wanted to go, just take her aside and say, never let him handle your baby again.
No, the head was wobbling around,
was
he
wobbling,
put it on
he
that
just-
heavy, I could see it coming.
I don't know, who knows, he might turn out like Karl now.
That's a point.
But what do you do in those situations? Do you...
Well, I'm assuming by the way you're taking it lightly, the baby wasn't hurt in any way, just
baby
made
wasn't
his...
hurt.
Well then...
But it was still a bit
you
reckless.
keep out of it, don't you? What are you
guess
gonna do? Call the authorities and go, it was him?
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to name the place in case I get knifed.
I imagine you trying to swagger it when you overheard him talking the neck. I imagine you know him go, yeah, pigs. Sorry? Yeah, I ate the pigs as well. No, I'm a lawyer. I was down there going, oh yeah, sure. Oh dear.
But, I'll be going back there. I feel like I'm...
That's it. I mean, I've told you before, Steve, stay away from working class people and bad men in trainers. Because, you know, you hang on with ne'er-do-wells and you're gonna get your glasses knocked off.
That's true.
Jet. Roll over DJ on XFM 104.9. Carl, you promised me that you were gonna reintroduce Educating Ricky.
Yeah, we can do that.
Have you got it? Have you got something that will, that's something that I won't know that's correct and that will interest me?
Yeah, there's loads of stuff.
Is it anything to do with monkeys?
No, we've got monkey news.
We've got monkey news coming up, of course we have. Monkey news, people, and then now over to, XFM for monkey news with Karl Pilkington.
No, we won't do that yet. We're not doing that yet. Educating Ricky is...
Yeah. Well, let's do it.
We did it ages ago.
Educating Ricky. Oh, that's interesting, and it's correct.
Hang on a minute, though. What I do is, I tease you, don't I, with headlines.
Oh, go on then.
And then you have to sort of go, that one sounds good.
Go on then, what are the
I want to know
headlines?
more about that. Educate me.
Yeah,
Right?
okay.
You've got,
Jeez. Oh.
That Nelly died.
That Nelly died. All right.
Okay. Could be about an elephant.
Yeah.
Go on.
You've got that. You've got,
I got well. Take well as red. So they all start with well. Okay.
Knob body has been that lucky before.
Brilliant. All right.
Okay.
Or you've got get a lobe of this court case.
Right. Okay.
Not bad.
I'm going for knob body. It's been that lucky before.
Right. It's a story about this kid who was born. Right.
Was he?
Yeah, he was popped out, like, and the dad and the mum saw the baby, and it was like, oh, that's a good-looking little kid.
Sure.
And they were proud and that. And then,
I know, like, they're surprised that it's a good-looking little kid. It's theirs.
Yeah.
Like it could have been it could have been a frog, and they'd have gone, "Oh, he's got your eyes."
and then, the doctor goes, yeah, it is, but, look at that.
What?
He said, it's a boy, and, hasn't got a knob.
I love the doctor saying that. I love this GP.
Right.
Oh, this midwife saying that. Oh, I love little boy. Yeah, but no knob, baby. Mr. and Mrs. I mean, think.
Right. No, but I'm speeding it up a bit.
All right. Come on. So the baby's
Right, so the
born,
baby's like that, and the doctor says that, and the woman's like, oh, it's our first as well, and stuff, right? She's really gutted.
What's the second going to be like?
So,
Go ahead.
Just a knob.
doctor says, yeah.
We'll call it Karl. Right, go on.
Right, go on.
So the doctor says, well, I'll leave it with you for a bit, get used to the idea, right?
As opposed to throwing it away.
So he wanders off.
Yeah.
He comes back with a smile on his face, right?
Found the knob.
So the mum and dad are like, what are you smiling about? He said, you're not going to believe this. Baby's just been born. It's got 2. Right? You can have one of them. And they did a little operation.
Where did you get this information from?
That's in a book.
What book?
Is it the
a
same as the
joke
book that you carry round with you?
No.
With the woman with 3 legs, the juggler with 9 arms, and the bloke who found shagging a chicken under a rock. Is it in that book?
Weird though, isn't it?
Well, it's not true.
It is true.
What, in the same hospital, there was a baby born without a knob. Luckily, it's Karl.
It happened.
You're not. You swear to God, you're not making.
The
I'm not
doctor
making
came
up,
back
honest to God.
smiling, because you won't believe it. There's a baby there with an excess of a knob.
It happened, honestly. I'm not, all these things are not made up, the educating stuff. That's why I do it, innit? Teaching you stuff, always teaching you stuff.
All right. If anyone can confirm the baby with no knob,
they're going to
baby with
confirm it,
2.
because they're going to go to the same dubious website that Karl got it from.
I always try to be level-headed and reasonable in these situations.
And
You always
it's
ignore
always
it.
Guatemala or Mexico. Rodriguez there was born without a knob. Luckily, baby next door, and then was got 2 knobs. What a load of shite. Play a
Thank you.
record.
There's still more to come.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to. Was it Nelly?
Nearly dead.
It nearly died.
Nelly died.
Radiohead Off the Bends album. I mean, might be my favourite album of all time.
You said it before, yeah. I
Yeah.
can't say I've ever really got into it. I remember when it came out, it was just so ubiquitous everywhere, I never really bothered listening
I
to
can
it.
still listen to it every day. I mean, that might be sad, I don't know, but it's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
On XFM 104.9, just practicing for when we,
Talk about music.
talk more about music than maybe monkeys and people born without knobs, baby. Carl, any other thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to tell you any more educating stuff
You're
yet.
gonna tease me with that, are you?
Leave you with, it nearly died.
Yeah.
And get a load of this court case, right? But I want you thinking about
Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, just getting the red juices ready.
things like that.
Yeah, like an aperitif, yeah, sure.
But, I've just educated you,
Yeah.
right? And I watched The Office Christmas stuff on, last Sunday.
Do you enjoy it?
I think it was good.
Good.
I think it was good.
Thank you
It was
very
up there with one of my favourites. The second one was good.
Yeah, okay, your second one, more the paybacks in the second one, the first one's more set up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd have thought people would like the second one more.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's a nice critique, thank you, Carl.
But there was something in it you did about cavemen.
Cavemen?
You said something about, it was a fact about caveman, and you sort of only half did it. You didn't give the full information, like,
What?
kind of doing that. You just,
Where was it? What bit was it?
it was the bit when you were talking about getting a woman, I think, or you were talking about breasts, or...
Oh, the one where I said the reason women have cleavage is it reminds men of buttocks, because when we were cavemen we used to do you from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the blind date, yeah.
Is that a joke, or...
Well, I was hoping it was funny. We would... Oh, you mean, no, I don't know. Yeah, I think I did. I think cleavage is meant to represent, in a sort of Desmond Morris pop, sort of anthropology type way, I think I've seen that before, that, cleavage represents, buttocks. And I imagine, you know, cavemen probably did do it from behind. I don't know what you want to know, Carl, really. It's in a sitcom, it wasn't a documentary.
It looked like one.
Yeah. Brilliantly directed to look like one, I'll give you that.
No, but what you're saying, so blokes like...
Yeah, I think cleavage is represented like buttocks, because obviously buttocks were much more of a sexual organ. Evolutionary speaking, breasts were to actually bring up, to suckle young, but, and were a sign of sexual maturity, so you're ready to mate. But whereas, Carl, I'm not an anthropologist, mate, I'm struggling here, what do you need to know?
But
Yeah, I imagine that the cleavage reminds you of an arse.
Right, well, if it's all about arse, why don't gays like a little bit of tit? No, do you know what I mean?
You've done me! So the question put to us today on XFM 104.9, please call me $1, is, if it's all about arse, then why don't gays like a little bit of tit?
I was worried
If
that
it's
we
all
were-
about arse, why don't gays like tit? If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tits? Just call in with your... Thanks very much for tuning in. This is, in Children's TV. If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tit?
It's soon been an hour and a quarter before we got round to gays, so it's good to see they made an appearance.
If it's all about arse, why don't gays like a bit of tit? Is the question. What a brilliant question. Well, if you're an anthropologist or a psychologist, a doctor, a gay, please call in. If it's all about arse, this is the question.
I'm not convinced by this whole, cleavage looks like an arse, that's
No,
why people...
not Steve,
I
nor
think-
am I.
I think the reason men are
it's a
attracted-
bit of mock anthropology. I didn't think it would be under scrutiny.
I think it's more likely that the reason men find cleavage attractive is because they know there's a lovely pair of Bristols down there.
Yeah, so
And
look
it's
at
like,
cleavage, they
ooh,
go,
here we are.
if that's what's on show,
Exactly, imagine what's down
if
below.
that's in the front window, right?
Yeah,
What's he
I'm
got in the
gonna
back
go
of the
into the
shop? Oh dear! The Coral, Bill Mackay on XFM 104.9. If it's all about arses, Steve, why don't gays like a bit of tit?
I think there might be a lecture on that at the Royal Institute tonight, I'm not sure.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, I think he's given it a...
Brilliant.
Tell you something else, though, that's about cavemen and that,
Yeah.
right?
Not really, go on.
Do you know,
I love the idea of a little gay fella. He's pulled a bird. He's just all he's done is focused on the cleavage, and he's gone, "That's a lovely arse." Right? He's got a back. Right? Do. Pulls the dress down. No, where's the arse? I've been gone. There's boobs. Boobs. I hate them. They're my worst. No. Right. Sorry, Carl.
Cavemen and that.
Yeah. Back to it. Doesn't drop a beat, does he?
Do you know, like, when you get a bit scared, and the hairs on your back and that sort of go up?
Well, I haven't got a particularly hairy back, but go on.
No, but on your neck or whatever,
On your head.
Do you know...
Not on your face, but sure.
Do you know where that comes from? Do you know why that happens?
Why it happens?
Yeah.
To look more fierce.
Yeah.
Probably residue of, like, the erectile tissue with the, you know, would make you look aped, and that would make you look slightly bigger, your outline bigger. Is that the answer?
Yeah, just cavemen in front of dinosaurs and that, they sort of went, oh, and then...
Well, it wasn't cavemen in front of dinosaurs, was it? Because cavemen weren't alive when dinosaurs were alive.
There was a couple knocking about.
Right, okay, fair enough.
There was a crossover point, surely.
Not dinosaurs like you're thinking
15
of.
million. Was the, probably the Ice Age, there were still big reptiles.
I think it's fairly common knowledge that the dinosaurs did not exist.
Well, who
when...
gave the dinosaurs a name?
Well, no. Well, no.
Who gave the dinosaurs their names?
He's using cavemen as any genus of Homo. I know he's thinking of the Flintstones, but I'm giving him like, an instep into evolution here. But,
I should just point out, cavemen didn't have cars which they motored by running along the street.
And they didn't mix cement in pelicans.
You're aware of that?
Go on, Carl.
Should we have the Rockbusters answers?
Yeah,
We've got to get that out of the way.
I'd love to. Number one was, don't be stealing my tools. Take your sisters. The initials were NK. That was Nick Ershaw, right?
Nick Ershaw?
Nick Ershaw. 80s.
I don't know, I've never heard of that band.
Nick Kershaw.
Nick Kershaw, yeah. Nick, sorry, what, I don't understand it, Nick, how does Nick Kershaw...
Second one was,
No, don't move on! Nick Kershaw! What's Nick Kershaw? Jesus.
Alright.
It doesn't count, it's not a clue!
But let's just leave it behind us, alright?
Second one was, buy it if you want, I'm not bothered, you can think about it, come back, have a look around, think it over. I'm not fussed. The initials were SC. That was soft cell, right?
That works.
Yeah.
Well done.
That works.
Right. And that's good. I can play 10-pin bowling again. That's O. That's outcast. Alright?
What?
What does that mean? Outcast?
You're out, you broke your arm. Right? Got the cast
that's
off it.
ridiculous.
That's ludicrous.
I mean, that's ridiculous.
You broke your arm, you were in a cast, you've got rid of the cast, you're outcast.
Did anyone get that?
Yeah.
I mean, I am stunned.
I think, to be fair, that was because how many bands begin with O?
Yeah.
I think that's why people got it.
Exactly. But they were guesses, yeah. I could probably make Oasis work if I tried hard enough.
We've done that.
Oh, pardon me.
So, outcast.
That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
But it's ridiculous.
We've had worse than that.
The leap to
We've had
bowling.
worse than that!
No,
Imagine that!
I remember when I did my wrist in, then it fixed, I went 10-pin bowling.
Why did you do your
So it's what you did. Brilliant. So next week's quiz is what am I thinking? You're an idiot, Carl. Play a record.
Who's the winner?
Why did you do your wristing?
Crash. A
what?
Crash. Had a crash.
You had a crash?
Yeah.
That sounds like a story we've not explored.
Not much to it. I just went on a free sort of rally day. Got in this car. I'd been working all night, right? So I wasn't the best condition to be whizzing around a track in a car.
Sure.
Like a Formula 1 type car.
Yeah.
Spun out of control, hit some mud, smashed it all in, wrote it off, and I didn't realise I'd done a load of damage until...
Well, you landed on your head, but you were fine.
Yeah.
Who's the winner?
Mike Godley.
I'm in love with the girl that I'm talking about.
Bad Time from the Jayhawks on XFM 104.9. Steve Merchant, Ricky Gervais, Carl.
We're having a good time.
We are indeed.
Alright. Carl, what you got lined up for us now?
Right, well, you've got a choice.
Nelly dead?
You can have a bit of educating.
Yeah, that's how educating. Come on.
Educating Ricky. Can we just clarify what this is? I think a lot of new listeners perhaps aren't familiar with this.
It's when Karl looks on the internet and finds a weird story about, the double knob, fun, and tells me about it, and it's usually not true.
Okay.
If it is true, I know it already. Go on then, Karl.
They're not really weird stuff, it's just stuff that's gone on. That's interested me, that's all it's about, and I educate about it.
I should just confirm that we've had a number of emails that say the baby born without a knob and then having one transplanted from a baby that luckily enough had 2 knobs is apparently true.
Listen.
So,
I don't question that you could be born with a deformity and get someone's, fingers, knobs, What I'm saying is, it didn't happen with a doctor goes, I'll leave with it. I don't believe it. That baby's got 2 knobs.
Exactly.
What a coincidence. I bet that little bit of information isn't in there, is it?
Sure.
That he went out the door, I'm gonna get a coffee, came back, bloody hell, hold on, look, there's an extra knob, I found an extra knob. We can put that knob on there. Perfect.
right, well you've opted for the headline, It Nearly Died. Right?
Yeah.
It's about this elephant.
Yeah.
80 years old. In Africa. Right, it's had quite a good life and that. But then what happens is, I don't know what it's been eating, but his teeth fall out.
Yeah, that's what most elephants die of that, because they grind them down, the teeth, until they can't chew anymore, and most elephants dying of old age with an elephant is the fact that you haven't got teeth anymore.
Well, it's had a good innings, it was 80.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway...
They used to pop the food up and feed it to it, and it lived quite happily?
No, what they did was, the village got together, said,
chewed the food for
that's
it.
sad, isn't it? Made it some false teeth. Made it some teeth. Out of wood. Wooden teeth for this elephant, that's 80. What do you think of that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's true, I don't know, I mean...
No, it is, forget that, you've been proved wrong once. It is true. What do you think about that?
Karl, it's like saying, yeah, my Auntie Nora saw a ghost, what do you think about that? There's no comment. I can't comment on it.
Would you have gone to the trouble, is what I'm saying?
To build an elephant some teeth?
It's 80.
Yeah.
With all the problems Africa's got and that, and they're messing about making teeth for an elephant.
What problems have Africa got?
Well, there's not enough food to go around, so if an elephant's dead, that's a bit more food left. Do you know what I mean? Why?
Yeah, but you're assuming this is in the middle of a village where there was famine and starvation. It might have been South Africa, Kenya. You don't know. It's not all Ethiopia.
If it was a busy city, people in the village wouldn't have time to be messing about with making teeth and that, would they? It was a little village. Little village.
Yeah.
And a local elephant.
The local elephant. Like a local post office. I'll meet you by the elephant.
No, to be fair, Rick, I think I saw Bob Geldof on TV saying, please, people, stop making elephants' teeth. They are eating all the food, we're sending it over there.
F the number, where's the teeth? I don't know, it's possible.
Send us the
I mean,
teeth.
it's possible. It's possible they've made this elephant some dentures. It is possible.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just...
Pulp it.
Exactly. Fresh it up, serve it some soup or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making its teeth, it's really... So I'd have thought I wouldn't have thought it would work for very long, and I wouldn't have thought the elephant would understand that it was teeth, so I wouldn't have been able to thought that the villagers could do it. I mean, top veterinary surgeons could have done some, but I think they made it all goodwill, but I don't want to thought it worked, so they probably ended up dying or pulping it like I suggested. But, thanks very much, play a record.
No, but didn't you say something about wooden teeth? Someone, had wooden teeth.
I don't know, I think that was possibly my grandparents.
They had wooden teeth.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was wooden. I think the palate was wood, and then the teeth were as you would normally
That's
say.
like from the 16th century, though, isn't it?
Well, it was the 1940s.
They used to hammer them in without anaesthetic.
Really?
Yeah. Just put into the roots, so it wouldn't... Oh, God.
That's a rubbish time, isn't it, to live?
And other people's teeth, obviously dead people's teeth, you could replace it, just bang it in for a while. Oh, God, unbelievable. Oh, dear. Play a record, Karl.
If you've had your teeth, if you've had teeth hammered into your gums...
Placebo, English Summer Rain on XFM 104.9. Right, okay, you got the final educating Ricky, Karl?
Get a load of this court case.
Yep.
What happened was, right,
allegedly.
Fella's in court for something that he shouldn't have done, right?
Yeah. You got all the detail then at your fingertips.
And the jury says, he's guilty, right? And the judge went, what, he's not guilty, off you go then, right? He misheard it. They couldn't do anything about it, because once the judge has sort of said, you're not guilty, off you go, you can go home. And the jury were like, what are you doing? They said he's guilty. And he was like...
What do you think of the Thorns album?
I'm quite a big fan, Rick. Yeah, I like that sort of alt country sound. I think
I know. I like that compilation you made me. That was
that sort of thing.
really good. The Jayhawks. Thanks for that, by the way.
It was the hanging one, wasn't it? There was the hanging one that happened.
Are you still there?
What bands have you been checking out recently? Any new things?
Just exploring all kinds of stuff. Obviously, you know, I like dipping back into the old stuff. I'll tell you what I've been appreciating a lot recently, Rick. Billy Bragg.
Oh, brilliant, yeah.
Great guy.
Isn't he playing
He's playing in March, yeah. You might want to try and
You heard about the hanging one when the fella was...
Sorry, mate, go on.
When the fella was hung.
Well hung?
He was hung, and...
Sorry, what's hung?
He was hung by a rope.
So, isn't that... No, I think it wasn't he, a Chinese emperor? And wasn't he hung?
Yeah.
Sorry, he was hung.
Some fella who'd done something, they hung him.
It's not a word anymore, he was hung.
Well, don't be doing that again, because you said squoze wasn't a word, and then I shown you a menu today that someone sent, and it said fresh orange.
Yeah.
Squoze.
In inverted commas, and next to it was the word colour, spelt C-O-L-O-R. So, presumably either the American menu, right, in which case, there's loads of American words that we don't use, or... it's just a badly typed piece of work.
Anyway, there was a bloke that was hung.
He was hung and that. But he didn't die.
Hung on that, he was definitely a Chinese. Hung on that, yeah. I remember him now, yeah.
He didn't die, and they said, oh, just hang on a minute whilst we change the rope and that, and he stood there waiting, changed the rope. They, tried to, do it again. And, didn't work.
It didn't work, right.
So, they got another rope, right? Didn't work. And then they had to let him go, because it's like there's a well-known saying or something from this thing.
Yeah. Have you seen, do you like, Oh My Car's On by, Tim Burton's new single?
I don't know that
Right,
Oh, it's brilliant. Can we play a bit later?
know.
Yeah, we play it. Let's play a record now, and, we'll, talk more a bit later.
Yeah. Hey, can you, Carl, would you shut up?
Oh My Car's On. Tim Burgess. Brilliant. XFM 104.9. Right. Well, we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
We had Carl in a little film, but I think we've really got time for Monkey News, you know?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Carl?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah, let's do Monkey News.
Alright.
Play the jingle?
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Right, there's this monkey, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think his name was number 6 or number 7 or something, right? In this lab, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, it's in there with like the rabbits and little mice and stuff like that. And
The rabbit smoking.
the nurse, right? The nurse, not the nurse, the woman who works in the lab. What would you call her? Is that a nurse?
Depends what turns out her job was. She was a lab assistant, you call her a lab assistant.
Right.
I mean, they probably call her by her name.
All right, lab assistant, right?
Kirsty.
So
I
she's
think it's probably Kirsty.
Right,
Kirsty Morris.
well, she's in there, right?
Yeah.
And she don't work with many people and that. She's mainly on her own with just putting lipstick on rabbits and stuff like that, right?
Chimpanzees it?
So
Chimpanzee. He's putting on lipstick chimpanzee. She's got hairy legs.
He gets pally, right, with this woman because he gets to a point when she sees him every day.
The way he tries to string out like it's a narrative love story. Did the chimp put its hand out and grabbed her, and then you thinking that he made a move on her?
So
Right, come on,
he's
let him
allowed
tell
out.
the
He's
story.
allowed out.
Oh,
the
it's not a
cage.
story, is it?
He's allowed out the cage and whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so he's wandering about, and as time goes on, he's watching what she's doing more and more. Right. So he notices like the code on the door. Right. Whatever 247 or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, right, I've clocked that. I've got that. I'll remember that. Right. And then he goes, right, there's a lot of lipstick and that knocking about, a lot of makeup.
Right, okay. No, there's no way. No! Because,
So-
Steve, you know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
So he's there.
It's ridiculous.
And he's going, well, if it's there, you know what I mean? So while she's messing about with the rabbit, he gets there, he's in front of the mirror, putting a little bit of lippy on. Right?
You are no! I know! It's gone too far!
Little bit of
No, it's gone too far, Steve.
Right,
Your mic's off, Rick. He's finishing
Right,
the story.
so-
Turn mine off as well.
It's gone.
and it's looking pretty
I
good.
didn't mention the mascara!
It's looking alright, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right. So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, here's my chance. He's looking good, 247, out the door, reception man's there, he's like, alright, Kirsty, right?
Don't talk shit!
I Feel Free from Cream. That's pretty much the last track, isn't it, guys? I imagine on XFM 104.9.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got nothing to say after that. Ridiculous story. I mean, that's worse than the bank robbery to me.
Yeah.
That he clocks out, and the bloke on the desk. All right, Kirsty. Oh, you're 2 foot shorter and hairy.
Wasn't
Yes.
a looker anyway. So
She wasn't a looker anyway. Brilliant. Oh, play a record and say cheerio. We'll see you next week for the last time for a little
just
while.
got ads and...
Oh, adverts? Oh, I'd love to end with adverts.
See you later. It's brilliant. Going out on a bang.